What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty. Join my Discord if you want to chat and share your thoughts, the link is in the description. 3 Su Chapter 43 Rhythm of War. The top floor of Lee's building in Linhai City. An expensive purple sand porcelain cup fell to the ground. You B*******************. D. You fail more than you succeed. I asked him to win over me at all costs, but he found me 10 level 20 professionals to block people's doorsteps? Li Xinggong was furious, and everyone else at the scene was trembling. Oh, don't be angry, your wrinkles will come out from anger. A beautiful woman who still retains her charm stepped forward. My family will conduct a routine inspection in 1 month. Let's first think about how to deal with our people. Li Xinggong fell silent after hearing this. They're the dominant force in Linhai City, and even the mayor wants to give up 3 points when they meet. But in front of the Li family, it is nothing. If the people of the family find out that they can no longer control Linhai City, they will immediately send someone to take over and kick them away. Nowadays, professionals have been resenting them for a long time, plus the sudden appearance of Qin Zi, a super genius. As a result, the Linhai City under their control seemed to be in a situation that was out of control. Damn it, we have no grudge against Qin Zi in the first place, and we haven't collected the debt yet, but this prodigal son screwed me over. I'm afraid it's a little difficult to be on good terms with Qin Zi now. Li Xinguang thought of what Qin Zi said and couldn't help but continue to curse. Yu Hao is still a child. Let's get him out of prison first. I'm afraid he won't be used to the food inside. The beautiful woman continued to say softly. Just pet him. Although Li Xinggong scolded him harshly, he still went to the prison with the beautiful woman. More than a dozen luxury cars filled the road in front of the prison. Full of style. He got out of the car with the beautiful woman, wearing black sunglasses on his face. Huh? Why doesn't the director of the prison come to greet me? Li Xinggong frowned. When he came here before the car stopped, the prison door opened. The prison director led a large group of people and came out to greet him with a smile on his face and a very low profile. Today, the director of the prison has not shown up, and the door is closed. What the hell are these guys doing? Don't you want to hang out in Linhai City? Advertisement. Li Xinggong gritted his teeth, and blue veins popped out on his forehead. The beautiful woman shouted eagerly, how dare these people ignore you so blatantly? Quick, they may still dare to attack Yu Hao. It seems it's time to let them know who is the top leader in Linhai City. Li Xinggong's eyes were gloomy. He waved to his subordinates behind him and strode towards the prison. He didn't knock on the door, but kicked the thick iron door open. Director of the prison, get out of here. Li Xinggong strode in and cursed angrily. At this time, a stern female voice suddenly sounded. Li, hey, Mayor Tang, you are really tough in what you said today. Li Xing just turned around and saw the capable woman in a white suit, and became angry. Li Xinggong, your hands have covered the sky of Linhai City in the hopes of countless Linhai people for the future. From today on, I will solemnly warn you that you will spit out everything you have occupied and everything you have created. It's up to you to pay for the tragedy. Every word written by Tang Zhu is sonorous and powerful. It's like reciting an oath. Ha! Li Xinggong was startled for a moment, and then started laughing wildly. Ha 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 ha, you are not sick. What nonsense are you talking about? Why are you fighting me just because you are level 23? Every level one can pick out is higher than yours. How many dungeon resources have you taken up? How much effort have you contributed to the development of dungeon resources? You are telling me this without any shame? I fought my way out of the entire Linhai City. Without me, would you be here today? Li Xinggong was roaring angrily, with veins popping out on his forehead. That's not the reason why you monopolize the resources of professionals. Tang Zhu met his fierce gaze without evading it at all. You are here this time for your son. I can allow you to take a look, but if you want to take him away, you need to go through relevant procedures. We will never let him go without the procedures. If you dare to force your way in and rob people, I will report to the superiors that there is turmoil in your Li company. After saying that, a door slowly opened, and a strong stench immediately poured out. Son, why are you? When the beautiful woman saw this, she immediately ran forward in a hurry, but was stopped by the guard. When Li Xinggong saw the miserable state of his son, his face turned livid. The Li family of the super aristocratic family is the most concerned about face. If the members of this family come down to see him so embarrassed, the consequences will be disastrous. It would be frivolous to simply remove them from the Li family tree. Are you trying to start a war with me? Advertisement. Li Xinggong said through gritted teeth, if you call this a war, I'll accompany you, Tang Zhu said with a sneer. This day, the battle between the government and Li's company began. It's too much to bully others, it's simply too much to bully others. After Li Xing just returned to the top floor of Li's building, he angrily smashed 2 purple sand porcelain cups. Oh, my son, your life is so miserable, you are suffering in it. Hurry up and think of something. The beautiful woman wiped away her tears and cried. Madam, don't worry. They don't dare to do anything to Yu Hao. I'll hurry up and have someone program him, and he will be released in a few days. After Li Xinggong comforted his wife, he immediately called his confidants over. Tang Zhu actually dares to challenge our Li company? I want her to kneel in front of me and apologize. Boss, online public opinion is very unfavorable to us now. Ever since Qin Zi posted the post about the young master leading 10 level 20 professionals to block the door, many people have been scolding us. Now it has had a major impact on us. Minister of Public Relations Department holding the tablet, he spoke urgently. Haha, These ungrateful white-eyed wolves, if the company hadn't been raising them, they would have starved to death on the streets. Select out these white-eyed wolves for me, and specially create some loyal dogs. As long as they are loyal to our Lee Company, we will give them bones to eat. If they are white-eyed wolves, we will directly cut off their copy resources and step up their efforts to demand the arrears. I will see what they will do. Li Shinggong said viciously. Anyone who looks at him is really angry. I understand, I'll do it right away. Soon, the one-sided voices on the internet gradually began to show some rhythm. Lee's company's loyal dogs also followed the rhythm and rushed forward. Who opened up the dungeon of Linhai City in the first place? It was the Lee Company. Li Shinggong is definitely the #1 contributor to Linhai City, you ungrateful people. I absolutely support Lee's company. Those who attack have ulterior motives. I'm going to enter the dungeon to gain experience and gain rewards. You Luthers on the internet, do you have a place to gain experience? You can only shout online. In reality, you have to rely on your strength. Hey, you can't enter the dungeon. You didn't look at whose food you were eating before you spoke. You deserve it and you will suffer the consequences. 1. Chapter 44. Things have changed. In the old residential building, Qin Zi looked at the Dark Ranger wearing a kitchen skirt and cooking something. He couldn't calm down. No, do you really know how to cook? My lord, I am preparing the food. I saw a thigh bone in the pot. Isn't it the neighbor's? Yes, my lord. Qin Zi. Later, the Dark Ranger's dishes were freshly baked, which were big bones. When Qin Zi saw the number of big bones, his face instantly turned pale. Did this special code remove all the leg bones of the neighbor's family? Fortunately, these big bones seemed to be thicker and somewhat different from human bones. Then he heard the angry roar of his neighbor, who had stolen his big pig bones. Is this all you eat at your place? Qin Zi really has no appetite for big bones. Dark Ranger ate very enthusiastically, each bite crunching and crispy, looking like eating an apple. Yes, my lord. These bones have low soul content. Not as good as the ones I ate, Dark Ranger said in a cold voice. Qin Zi. You also picked it. Dark Ranger is a heroic unit, which is equivalent to a summoned beast that can be cultivated and has growth potential. Other summoning skills will summon different units each time and are a one-time consumption. Therefore, the Dark Ranger will accompany him for a long time, and it is understandable to cultivate feelings in daily life. Dark Ranger devoured the entire pot of bones. Qin Zi ordered a takeout of braised chicken and rice, and gave his neighbor some money, which made him feel a little embarrassed. Would you like to have a taste of our human delicacies? Qin Zi looked at the good-looking Dark Ranger. As soon as it reached my mouth, I drank it immediately. After eating and drinking, it should be almost time. Lee's company, what kind of counterattack will you make? It won't be a public opinion counterattack based on my posts. Qin Zi sat on the sofa, and when he turned on his phone, the first message that appeared was a message from Tang Zhu. It showed several pictures of Li Yuhao squatting in the prison cell, crying and miserable, without the arrogant and domineering demeanor before. Tang Zhu. I promise you that he will not be coerced by anyone. He will be imprisoned for as many years as the court sentences him. Advertisement. Qin Zi. Thank you, I will give you a gift, you will like it. Tang Zhu. What gift? Qin Zi. You will know later. I closed the message and opened the forum webpage. The background was already filled with private messages. 999 plus Qin Zi took a closer look and found that things were as expected. Everyone was very excited about his personal end, and some even wanted to put him at the forefront to resist Lee's company. When individuals fight against forces, they will always be somewhat powerless. But if forces confront forces, that would be great. For example, the officials directly go up against the Lee family. All he needs is a small gift. Later, he clicked on the post he made, and the number of comments exceeded the 30,000 mark. The number of fans on his account has exceeded 500,000. To know, his previous fans were only a dozen robots. As his fingers moved across the screen, comments appeared in front of his eyes. Holy crap, what did I see? Young Master Lee brought 10 level 20 professionals to block the door of Qin Zi's house, and then he was so scared that he peed. Haha, I was really laughing to death. I remember that the young master of the Lee family was very arrogant because of his background. Now he is obeyed by Qin Zeji. He is worthy of being the person who cleared the nightmare dungeon. If you put it this way, there should be a conflict between Lee's company and Qin Zi. Lee's company has not expressed anything yet. Maybe it is because it is afraid of Qin Zi's talent. I hope Lee's company can be tougher, so that it will give Qin Zi a reason to smash them to pieces, ha ha ha. As long as there is any situation, I will support Qin Zi unconditionally. The stubborn Lee company should have been knocked down long ago. It's just that the exploitation is so severe that I can hardly live anymore. Countless comments appeared one after another, and in the end they were all accusations and criticisms of Lee's company. Everyone has been suffering from Lee's company for a long time. Immediately afterwards, Lee's company issued an announcement. From now on, all professionals who openly slander our company will be banned from accessing all copies of our company's operations, and their right to make installment payments will be cancelled. All debts will be paid off in one go from the next month, otherwise compulsory measures will be taken. This time, the internet exploded instantly. Even Qin Zi couldn't help but sigh. What a cruel heart. Countless people are discussing it crazily. What? I just said a few words and they banned me from participating in the dungeon. I have to repay the loan in full the next month. Where did I get the money? Listen, is this human talk? What do you mean the copy is run by your company? I really laughed. Even if you are not here, the Black Abyss connection will not disappear. What a shameless statement. It's really too domineering. Advertisement. What should I do now? The baby has just been born and I urgently need money for milk powder. Upstairs. You are so miserable. I originally planned to download the dungeon to save some gifts, but now I just don't want to get married, so as to avoid all worries. If this continues, it's not a problem. What about the authorities? If the authorities take charge, Lee's company will become lawless. Hey, the boss of Lee's company is a level 32 professional, and the official highest level mayor is only level 24. How can we manage this? The thugs led by the young master of the Lee family are all level 20. Think about how big the gap is. People who were once filled with indignation are now really panicked. Their survival is threatened and they simply cannot survive. If Lee's company maintains this high-pressure plan, at least tens of thousands of people will choose to meet on the rooftop every month. Countless loyal dogs also came out to laugh at me. The connection point of the Black Abyss dungeon is very spacious, which is really nice. You bunch of white-eyed wolves, the company provides you with dungeon leveling, which is already very good, but you are so greedy that you want more. It's a pleasure to farm monsters, and you'll be able to gain more experience. Countless ridicules left many professionals without the confidence to reply. The reality still crushed their waists. Those at the top control resources and can enjoy delicacies from mountains and seas. It is difficult for the lower-level professionals to just stay alive. Seeing that Lee's company was determined to kill them, countless people had no choice but to turn to the authorities for help. Countless pleas appeared under the official account. Unfortunately, the authorities have always remained silent. When Tang Zhu saw this scene, he clenched his fists even more. It's not that she doesn't want to open it up, it's that the copy resources can't compete with Lee's company. At this moment, Lee's company used the resources in its hands. Declared to everyone who was the king of Linhai City. Just when everyone was in despair, Shin Zi once again sent out a new post. I am the master of the manor dungeon, and all professionals except Lee's company can enter the dungeon for free. At this moment, everyone became excited. Help! Tang Zhu immediately asked the official account to publish the information. The equipment produced in the manor dungeon can be sold to the official, and the price is higher than the market price. Tang Zhu looked at the new post with a long-lost smile on his face. The first step against Lee's company finally came out. Chapter 45, the most expensive undead skillbook. Shin Zi, how dare you confront our Lee company? Don't you know what we are? Li Xinggong looked at Shin Zi's post and clenched his fists. He watched helplessly as the Black Abyss copy of the manor lost control, and all the professionals belonging to the company were kicked out. Professionals who had been excluded from the game started to hunt monsters one after another. The most important thing is that the official service of buying and selling equipment bypasses them all of a sudden. A gap instantly appeared in Lee's company's territory. At this time, a man ran over in a hurry. Boss, the headquarters just informed us that the inspection time has been advanced, and someone will come down in 10 days. If the people from the headquarters see this mess, What? 10 days? Damn it, we have to use some unconventional means. Li Xinggong panicked for a moment, then gritted his teeth and said, let these people see the heritage of our Lee company. It's a dream to overthrow us. At the connection point of the Black Abyss dungeon of the manor, various vehicles were parked outside. The professionals rushed inside with great interest, their faces full of excitement. Some even cried, ooh, thank you Qin Zi. Thank you to the official. Finally, there is a copy of Black Abyss to grind, and the equipment we obtained no longer needs to be sold at a low price. Our good days are coming. Qin Zi broke Lee's company's resource monopoly, Nippon Plush. Brothers, I am a second-level assassin and it is difficult to form a team. Is there anyone who can help me? Come on, I am a third-level warrior. Let's form a team. If we can't beat the hard ones, can we beat the easy ones? Count me as a 5th-level mage, and I will be your DPS. In the past, I used to cheat each other to advance to dungeons, hoping to make more money, but this time I decided to be sincere to others. Let's help each other and strive to get a better score. Yes, I think so too. It's so difficult for everyone now, so please be considerate to each other. The professionals are filled with gratitude. They know that all this is hard-won, so they cherish it extremely. Only by experiencing cruel exploitation and oppression can we understand that the things we can enjoy now were all achieved by Qin Zi fighting between life and death. Without Qin Zi, nothing would be possible now. They put aside their prejudices and contempt and began to cooperate with each other sincerely. Linhai City, which was originally sluggish, has taken on new vitality. The company's loyal dogs walked out of the Black Abyss Junction, all of them dejected. Advertisement. They didn't understand that Lee's company, which was all-powerful, actually let go of the copy of the manor. Haha, you losers, why don't you bark? I'm laughing so hard. If you give me 3 melons and 2 dates, you really think of Lee's company as your father. The equipment was bought back at 1/3 of the market price. I thought about continuing to work for others because my brain was caught in the door. TCH, it's just the right to use 1 copy. Look at how arrogant you are. The worst we can do is go to the other 2. It's just that, the right to use a low-level copy will let you play. There are a total of 9 dungeons in Linhai City, and there are 3 from levels 1 to 15. At worst, I will go to another one. Do you know that Twilight Plains, large dungeon? This is the main dungeon of Linhai City. Without Lee's company to guard it, Linhai City will be wiped off the map tomorrow. Naive, so naive, open your eyes and see the world. The company loyalist didn't hesitate to retaliate. The verbal sparring between the two sides intensified. Due to the strong power of Lee's company, some celebrities and self-media internet celebrities have also begun to support it. Jiaqi. Family members, Lee's company is also having a hard time now. They have to guard Linhai City and protect the fellow villagers. They also have to coordinate and plan various resources. They have to worry about it every day. Those who say they can't afford it or those who owe money or oppressed should think about whether they have worked hard or not. Fans began to comment and applaud below. That's right, I'll follow you. Brother is the most handsome. Lu Shaer. Everyone should be obedient. There are always people who want to make Linhai City a mess and then make profits from it. Shaer thinks it's good now. Shaer hopes that everyone will open their eyes wide so that those bad guys will not have a foothold. Place. Lu Shuer, who is known as Linhai City's best guard, directly sent a voice message. It instantly sparked a heated discussion. This fierce conflict attracted all the demons and monsters from Linhai City. Danger is opportunity, no matter who wants to take a bite. This has kept Mayor Tang Zhu very busy. I want Linhai City to return to official hands. Taking advantage of this opportunity, we must eradicate these ghosts and monsters. Moreover, among the 9 dungeons in Linhai City, there is only one official dungeon between level 25 and level 35. Together with Qinzi's level 1 to 15 dungeon, there are only 2 dungeon resources. The remaining 7 dungeons are all from Lee's company. It can only be said that after taking the first step, the road ahead is still difficult and long. There were quarrels and chaos online. After Qinzi confirmed that the trend was as he expected, he stopped paying attention. Advertisement just in time, Lu Xiu called him. That's the first sentence. I'm downstairs at your house. Qinzi went downstairs and saw the familiar beetle parked on the roadside. Opening the car door, a familiar scent hits your face. Qinzi was sitting in the passenger seat and looked at Lu Xiu, who was smiling. The people from Lee's company didn't make things difficult for you, right? They regard me as a bridge of communication with you. How can they embarrass me? Besides, I'm just a salesperson and I'm not related to you. Lu Xiu shook her head. Then, she looked at Qinzi and hesitated to speak. What's wrong? Lu Xiu hesitated for a moment, then sighed and said, the company has decided to impose sanctions on you as revenge for opening the manor copy. From now on, the price of everything you buy from the company will double. After saying this, she lowered her head and did not dare to look at Qinzi. She participated in the entire meeting, and in the end it was as if she and the company had joined forces to harm Qinzi. This was not her intention. Hey, what do I mean? If it's doubled, I'll double it. As long as it can be divided into installments. Lu Xiu raised her head in confusion. No, don't think that you can survive just by borrowing money and not paying it back. How to say? I just learned a few days ago that if you owe too much money, it will be reported to the Li family, the super family currently in the central district, and they will take measures to collect the debt. Lu Xiu paused and continued, their methods are cruel. It's really troublesome for me to directly collect debts. Qinzi frowned slightly. At his growth rate, his skills increase by 1 level every second. He is so scared. Now it's time to download the dungeon and raise the level. You have to get to level 30 at least as soon as possible. Yes, you must think twice now. Don't think twice about it. Take this most expensive undead skill book of yours and take it out quickly. Lu Xiu. This scene seems a bit familiar. Chapter 46 Skill Selection, Civilian Route and Noble Route. Beetle. Lu Xiu was a little anxious. Did you really understand what I said? I know what your mentality is now. You must feel that you have cleared the nightmare copy, and now you are a peerless genius that all forces want to win over. Many people want to win over you and wipe out your debts. Qinzi was a little surprised. Are you making it obvious? The Li company has a close connection with the family. The family can directly control the Li company. It can be said that not only Linhai City, but also other areas controlled by the Super Li family have this model. We are paying close attention to the flow of funds. If there is a huge debt, we will directly intervene. The purpose of Li's company to double all the things you purchased is to let us directly take care of you across levels and enjoy the benefits ourselves. This is a conspiracy. Lu Xiu had obviously done enough homework before coming. Qinzi did not belittle himself, but thought carefully. So, Li's company doesn't want to have a direct conflict with me, but instead asks the father behind him to directly deal with me? He smiled speechlessly. This Li company is also a weird one and doesn't play by the rules. Generally speaking, they beat the small ones to the big ones. As a result, when the first person meets them, they just shout. Come dad. The situation here is a bit complicated. I am not qualified to obtain more detailed information. Anyway, Li's company is more concerned about the overall situation. If you intensify your conflicts, it will cause the lower level professionals to resist even more. I see. Qinzi nodded. Li's company is still very smart. The other party's strategic goals are also very clear. The first step is to stabilize the overall situation. The second step is to call dad to come and deal with him if he continues to borrow a large amount of debt in installments. So, do you still want to buy the skill book? As far as I know, although Li's Exchange is the main channel for obtaining skills, equipment, props, etc., there are also some underground channels and mysterious organizations. The quality there may be higher. When Qinzi heard Lu Xiu's words, he thought of the cat-eared girl carrying a suitcase. That should be the underground mall. I understand all the risks, but I still choose to buy. In my opinion, class is more important than money. The Li family of the super family can come to me if they want, but when I reach level 40 and enter the central area, I will also come to them. Let's see who can outplay whom. Qin Zi's idea now is very clear. The skill increases by 1 level every second, and there is no need to question its strength. The only thing limiting him now is his level, advertisement. Upgrading vigorously is the best option. As for skills, each profession basically has hundreds of skills. Professionals can plan and purchase according to their own characteristics. They are divided into civilian level routes and aristocratic level routes. The two routes can be divided into more than a dozen unique playing methods, some of which use poison as a weapon. The core, some are based on blood volume, etc. The skills of the noble level are more gorgeous than the civilian level, and the upper limit is higher. Each skill chain requires 1 to 2 growth skills as a foundation and improvement. These are the optimal skill combinations that have been experimented by countless senior professionals. There are also people who try to match skills by themselves, and there are many people who end up ruining themselves. There are still a few geniuses who can master a complete set of skills with the help of a sword or other cornerstone items. These are geniuses that are rare in a century. Let's not mention them for now. Generally speaking, professionals at level 10 will start planning their own route. Of course, Qin Zi didn't consider this and just bought it without thinking. So, what skills did you bring this time? Qin Zi asked with some expectation. Ahem, what I brought is. Lu Shiyu's expression was a little unnatural. She took out the tablet from the storage box next to the car seat, then clicked on it a few times and handed it to Qin Zi's hand. These are skills that no one wants at the civilian level. And the price is too expensive. However, Qin Zi looked very carefully and did not notice Lu Shiyu's state. His skills can be upgraded every second. Even a very rubbish skill will become extremely powerful if it is hung on the skill bar for a day and a night. No, there are resonance crystals, you just need to complete the study. Lu Shiyu secretly glanced at Qin Zi's handsome and serious profile, and then glanced at the unsightly skills on the tablet. My heart suddenly trembled. I deserve to die, I'm really sorry for him. About 10 minutes later, Qin Zi finished reading the skill introduction on the tablet. In this situation, it is impossible for the other party to provide him with a good skill chain. Even doubling the price is not possible. Can I buy them all? Qin Zi asked. No, it was specifically stated above that I can only sell one skill chain. Lu Shiyu shook her head. Oh, advertisement. Qin Zi focused his eyes on the tablet again, frowning. He had trouble choosing again. There are a total of 3 civilian level skill chains this time. The first one is the skill chain with the corpse cemetery as the core. It looks a bit like the undead cemetery, but the undead cemetery is illusory, while the corpse cemetery is a growth ability that exists in the summoning space. Simply put, it means continuously summoning skeletons through the corpse cemetery. The 4 secondary skills are bonuses and assistance to the cemetery and skeletons. It can be seen as a training system for summoning buildings. Well, all the undead summoners who dared to choose this set died in the dungeon. It was so weak that it made me want to cry, and I couldn't move. The second is a skill chain with soul taking as the core. By collecting the remaining souls of corpses, converting them into your own power, and injecting them into the undead summons, you can make the undead summons stronger, or inject it into the enemy's body, causing energy inclined damage. The 4 secondary skills are summoning sacrifices and energy bonuses. A little stronger, but not much. Moreover, there are restrictions on corpses. Without corpses, the entire set of skills is useless. The third core skill is corpse detonation. This is the literal meaning. An enemy dies and then detonates in the air, or kills his own summons and throws them over to detonate. The 4 secondary skills randomly summon corpses and detonate damage. Addition. The dogs shook their heads when they saw it, and the price is too expensive. Is it true that I can only choose one skill chain? Qin Zi couldn't help but ask again. Lee's company shouldn't care about such a weak skill, right? Okay, you can add one more, I'll fool you up there and it'll be over. Lu Shiyu worried for a while, then nodded. Qin Zi's eyes lit up and he immediately said, Great, I choose the first 2 skill chains. This kind of summoning building can continuously produce skeletons, which is still very fragrant. Coupled with the second soul stirring technique, the souls are continuously extracted, which is inextricable. He plans to go to Twilight Plains for the next dungeon, just in time to show off his skills. Plus a per second skill upgrade system. He didn't even dare to imagine how strong he would become in the end. Just choose these 2, are you sure? Sure, one sells for 50 million, 2 for 100 million. It's okay, give me 10 years of installments, Lu Shiyu. Chapter 47 Sudden Mutation. Oh my god, you owe 150 million like this. Otherwise, you can buy a single skill book. It's cheaper. There is also a skill gacha produced by Lee's company. You can randomly select skills, and you may also be able to obtain noble line skills. Many professionals try their best to piece together things here and there, but in the end they can get something similar. And it can also easily circumvent the sanctions imposed by Lee's company. Lu Shiyu looked at Qin Zi heartbrokenly. It seemed like he was going to suffer a major blow soon. That's the Lee family from a super family. A drop of dust can crush an ordinary person to death. Skill gacha. This one is quite interesting, but are you sure that Lee's company won't do anything inside? I'm afraid that if I drop 100 million, I won't even get a splash. Wouldn't this mean that Lee's company is using me for nothing? Qin Zi shook his head repeatedly. In the past, present and future, he is the only one who has used others for free. That's right, okay, are you really okay? It's really okay. Qin Zi got 2 skill placement boxes and watched the beetle drive away. He returned home and immediately opened the skill placement box eagerly. This is the most basic skill chain, which has 5 skills. The 2 add up to 10 skills. He's taking off. Dark Ranger leaned over curiously, and his body inadvertently came into contact with Shin Z. As cold as ice. This made Shin Z excited and calmed down a lot. Opening the first skill placement box, there is a small pentagram formation running inside, which seems to be protecting and maintaining the skill book. Death Cemetery is placed in the center, and the other 4 secondary skills are scattered around like stars over the moon. Death Cemetery summons a cemetery from a different world. It has a grave bag. 2 strong skeleton monsters can crawl out of it every minute. The upper limit is 1000. It can be summoned repeatedly. Mana consumption 1000 point close black lens bracket. Note: when the skeleton monsters are consumed, the recycling skill can slowly restore the amount of skeleton monsters summoned, 1 per minute. This summoning building is similar to a hero and can be cultivated repeatedly. Not bad, I learned it. Advertisement. Shin Z closed his eyes, and the roar of a lonely ghost sounded in his ears. He seemed to be in a death cemetery, cold and lonely. Congratulations, you successfully learned the skill Death Cemetery. Resonance Crystal. Activate. Open black lens bracket Death Cemetery close black lens bracket right pointing arrow open black lens bracket large Death Cemetery close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket large Death Cemetery close black lens bracket right pointing arrow open black lens bracket pirate Death Cemetery close black lens bracket open black lens bracket pirate Death Cemetery close black lens bracket right pointing arrow open black lens bracket cannon type pirate cemetery close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket artillery pirate cemetery close black lens bracket right pointing arrow open black lens bracket black pearl Death Cemetery close black lens bracket. Black pearl Death Cemetery, right pointing arrow, despair naval battle cemetery. After 2 days of level accumulation, Shadow Ghoul summoning technique has also received its 5th promotion and is also divided into 2 routes. Special monster, Hellfire Ghoul, and hero route, Nex, Body Eater, Ghoul. Shin Z chose the hero route, Nex. After all, he now has a large number of skeleton monsters, as well as miscellaneous fish monsters. It's just, my cemetery is a little crooked, why did you run into the sea? Seeing the second pirate's death cemetery, he couldn't hold back any longer. A scene of a large group of skeletons with single eye patches on their eyes or hooks on their wrists running around appeared in his mind. Maybe you'll even have to sing a few words to raise the sails. Let's set sail. Despair Naval Cemetery summons a naval warfare cemetery from another world. It has a giant sea grave trench, dry, no water. 30 random pirate skeletons, captain skeletons, mermaid skeletons, and cannibals can crawl out every 10 seconds. Monster skeletons, sea monster skeletons, ship skeletons, etc. Upper limit, 50,000 50,000ths, can be summoned repeatedly. Mana consumption, 5,000 points. Note: after withdrawing this skill, it will recover faster. 15 animals will be recovered every 10 seconds. Damn, that's interesting. How to fight this? A large group of pirate skeletons stepped on the ship's bones and screamed with their teeth and claws open? Probably. Shin Z also learned the remaining 4 skills 1 by 1 and completed 5 promotions. Maybe it's because of the same skill chain, all of which strengthen. Despair Naval Battle Cemetery. Skeletal Strengthening. Right pointing arrow continuous skill promotion right pointing arrow, cursed body. Introduction. All types of skeletons can use the abilities before death, and the skeletons are adaptive. Strengthened aura. Right pointing arrow continuous upgrade of skills right pointing arrow, moonlight glory. Introduction. The silver moonlight shines in from another world, and the enemy will transform into one of them after death. The Black Pearl is recruiting crew members again. Advertisement, quickly remove skeletons. Right pointing arrow continuous upgrade of skills right pointing arrow, blowout. Introduction. Give them a pirate skull rain. Pick up money. Right pointing arrow continuous upgrade of skills right pointing arrow, treasure plunder. Introduction. Gold. Treasure chest. Gold. Treasure chest. Ah. Looking at this, I can only sum it up in one sentence. 50 million is not wasted. It's time to give Twilight Plains, a super battlefield that has been fought for 20 years, a little skull shock. At the same time, on the top floor of Lee's company headquarters building, Li Shinggong was standing in front of the floor-to-ceiling window, overlooking the entire city. His eyes narrowed slightly, flashing a hint of anger. If someone dies this time, it's not his fault. It's all these low-level professionals who don't know what's good and what's good. And Li's headquarters came down in advance to inspect. Yuhao. What should I do with Yuhao? Can he be released now? The beautiful woman asked anxiously. What should we do? He has been eating spiritual rice since he was a child. He can't get used to eating ordinary rice. Come on, this time both Tang Zhu and Shin Zi will kneel at my feet. Li Shinggong said lightly. My Li company controls the main dungeon in Linhai City, which is equivalent to controlling the lifeblood. After saying that, he looked into the distance and saw that the connection point of the black abyss of the large dungeon of Twilight Plains suddenly began to change. Black lightning kept striking out from it, connecting the entire world. Soon the sky was infected. Countless black lightning appeared. These black lightnings don't disappear, but twist in the sky. The extremely terrifying aura made the entire Linhai City tremble. What is this? The beautiful woman asked tremblingly. Twilight Plains, is the main dungeon of Linhai City, and it is also the dungeon that determines whether Linhai City can exist. As the person with the highest degree of exploration, I won the title of Mainline Explorer, which can directly change the difficulty of the mainline dungeon. Now, Twilight Plains has reached a nightmare level and is beginning to affect reality. Now I am the only one who can readjust the nightmare copy back. Do you think they will kneel down and beg me? Li Xinggong said proudly. You scared me to death. The beautiful woman chuckled and punched him. We can't make it easy for them this time. They have to be humiliated and tortured. Of course, dear, shall we also torture it? Disgusting. Chapter 48 The Great Battlefield of the Twilight Plains, Here I Come. Black lightning flashed and twisted over Linhai City. They are associated with 8 points on the ground and gradually converge downward. Those 8 closed Black Abyss dungeons, including Qin Zi's Manor Dungeon, all began to mutate under the influence of black lightning. The Black Abyss vortex speeds up and continues to expand and spread. It feels extremely dangerous. My lord, danger is coming. The Dark Ranger is like an alert rabbit, with his head raised high and his scarlet eyes firmly locked outside the window. Black lightning twisted and fell from the sky like a waterfall. Danger. What's going on in Linhai City? I'll go. Qin Zi was still immersed in the skeletons on the island, and the next moment he saw the apocalyptic scene outside the window. He immediately came to the window and saw the Twilight Plains copy-link vortex, which had expanded to more than 20 stories high. Extremely shocking, full of danger. Black Abyss announcement. The main dungeon Dusk Plane has grown into a nightmare-level dungeon. 3 months later, the other 8 dungeons will complete the mutation, and all creatures in Linhai City will be randomly captured and entered into the dungeon until Linhai City becomes a life-restricted area. Life is forbidden. I remember that once in the island country, because the main dungeon could not be cleared, I asked for help from the beautiful country of Ka, but the other party ignored me. In the end, the entire city became a restricted area for life, and a terrifying monster walked in the world. A breathing can destroy a city. When talking about this terrifying monster later, netizens in this country were quite proud. It's awesome, we raised it. What a weird brain circuit. However, it is also a good thing for me to grow into nightmare level in Twilight Plains. The experience will be greatly increased, and the upgrade speed will be faster. When people from the Li family come over, they may be able to give them a hard slap and knock them out. Slap him back. Wantless, Linhai City is also a place where you can come. The fantasy time is over, and what follows is the remaining set of skill chains. After finishing learning, you can almost enter the dungeon. Click. The skill placement box slowly opens, the 5-pointed star formation lights up and rotates slowly. Qin Zi picked up the skill book. Soul Conjuration, placed in the middle. This is a set of skills that empower oneself. Without relying on summons, one can also have a certain amount of combat power. Soul Taking. No consumption, obtain souls from dead corpses or sacrificed to friendly forces, and control souls by chanting spells. Soul Storage Capacity, 0/20. Classic Necromancer skills. Qin Zi closed his eyes and soon felt that he had an extra cyan soul right hand, and he could extract the soul from the empty hand. Resonance Crystal, activate, Soul Taking, right pointing arrow, powerful soul taking. Advertisement, powerful soul capturing, right pointing arrow, soul draining. Open black lens bracket soul drain close black lens bracket right pointing arrow open black lens bracket soul vortex close black lens bracket, soul vortex, right pointing arrow, body guidance technique. Husk, this seems interesting. After 4 consecutive upgrades, the 5th one is a watershed and a qualitative leap. Body guidance technique, right pointing arrow, Yangchang body guidance technique. Underworld shell guidance technique. The soul's right hand is promoted to the underworld's right hand, and comes with a death underworld miniature, can grow. Used on enemies with weak consciousness, it can make the opponent enter an unconscious state and extract their souls. You can freely control underworld without chanting. Number of souls. 0.50,000. I'll go and have Wangshen healed for me? Wouldn't my family be the only one in the world of the undead from now on? The boundaries between life and death are becoming blurred. It can deprive others of their lives, and it can also give them new life. The souls extracted through the Underworld Shell Guidance Technique all have Underworld special effects, and also have feedback effects on the remaining 4 secondary skills. Psychic Body. Right pointing arrow continuous upgrades right pointing arrow, Death Raider. Introduction. 1. The more Wangshen souls, the higher the basic attributes, with a maximum bonus of 70%. 2. After a Wangshen soul is destroyed and dies, its basic attributes will be slightly increased and 1000 hydrogen phosphide monopoints will be restored. Soul Strengthening. Right pointing arrow continuous upgrading right pointing arrow, Lost Rebirth. Introduction. Inject the soul of Huang Quan into the summoned object and gain new life. Soul Energy Tilt. Right pointing arrow continuous upgrade right pointing arrow, possession attack and kill. Introduction. Control more than 10 underworld souls to attack and kill enemies. Those who are mentally weak can be possessed directly until death. Is this controlling ghosts to kill people? In reality, don't you want to kill whoever you want to kill? As we all know, professionals are not allowed to use lethal skills in reality. The 5 super aristocratic families and the official jointly declared that once discovered, they will hunt him to the ends of the earth. And with this trick of controlling ghosts and killing people, it can be said that the ghosts are unaware of it. Fright Halo. Right pointing arrow continuous upgrade right pointing arrow, deprivation of hope. Introduction. How long can you survive without hope? Who said this set of skills is rubbish? Stand up and take 2 steps. This set of skills takes the soul as the core to build a skill chain that integrates offense and defense. Moreover, sacrificing a soul can restore 1000 health, mana. This is an instant recovery without any unnecessary actions. Advertisement: if you want to drink the red medicine, you have to unscrew the cap and pour it into your mouth. The recovery of your blood volume is also determined by the action of drinking it. And this is equivalent to his need for an enhanced version. Without further ado, hurry up and enter the dungeon to upgrade. Twilight Plains. Right, let me see what's going on. At this time, the cell phone ringtone suddenly rang. Qin Zi lowered his head and saw that it was Lu Yong calling, and a smile suddenly appeared on his lips. Say Cao Cao, Cao Cao is here. Hey, adoptive father, everyone eagerly signed up when they heard your name. There were over 100 registration lists at once. However, after Twilight Plains became a nightmare level dungeon, 80% of the remaining people left. They are all miserable people who are almost unable to survive. Why don't I send you the list and you can choose from it? No, you can make your own choice, as long as you don't hinder me. Of course, I'm afraid no one can hinder me now. Okay, then the candidates for my side have been decided. When should we enter? Should we wait until the Twilight Plains mutation is over before entering? Is it safer? Come in now and we'll meet at the Black Abyss Junction. Ahem, that. Wouldn't it be a bit dangerous? Don't you still believe me? I believe you, but I'm also afraid. Qin Zi. When did this guy learn inequality? The phone hung up and then rang again. It turned out to be the mayor Tang Zhu. I have so many things to do every day. Qin Zi muttered and answered the phone. Classmate Qin Zi, I want to talk to you. Is it convenient for me to talk? Convenient, you say? I'll be downstairs at your house and we'll talk in the car. Qin Zi glanced out the window and saw a brand new black car parked downstairs. Just in time to ask Tang Zhu to send him to the Black Abyss link. As a result, as soon as he got in the car, Tang Zhu's first words made him unable to hold his nerve. We decided to compromise with Li's company. Tang Zhu lowered his head and looked gloomy. Chapter 49: A Desperate Move? Classmate Qin Zi, I'm sorry, it's because I didn't think carefully. The main dungeon, Twilight Plains, has a great impact on Linhai City, and Li's company's ability to control Twilight Plains has far exceeded our expectations. If this continues, Linhai City may have to it has become a restricted area of life. Tang Zhu, who had always been strong in his life, lowered his head at this moment, and his black hair fell from behind his ears and hung in front of his head. What are you going to do? Qin Zi asked softly. According to the information I have received, the Li family of the super family, that is, the main family in the central district, will come down to inspect Linhai City in 10 days. Now the lower level professionals have great opinions on Li's company, and your appearance has caused Li our company was on the verge of losing control of the situation in Linhai City, so they allowed Twilight Plains to grow into a nightmare level dungeon. If we continue to let things go like this, Twilight Plains will completely lose control. Qin Zi. Isn't this a lose-lose situation? If Twilight Plains loses control, Li's company will also lose everything. We can't afford the gamble, Tang Zhu sighed softly. Qin Zi fell into silence. So, we decided to admit our mistake to Li's company. Some key resources may be transferred, but that can't be helped. The key resource is probably the only copy under official control. In this way, Linhai City is completely dominated by Li's company. There was a sense of powerlessness on Tang Zhu's face. Well, I already understand your thoughts. Send me to the Twilight Plains Black Abyss link. Qin Zi spoke calmly. Huh? Tang Zhu suddenly raised his head and looked at Qin Zi in disbelief. You don't mean to? No, absolutely not, you will die in there. Tang Zhu was shocked and quickly tried to persuade him. I've made up my mind. Classmate Qin Zi, please listen to my advice. Twilight Plains is a mainline dungeon. It is several times more dangerous than dungeons of the same difficulty level. Now it has reached nightmare difficulty. The environment inside is no longer suitable for professionals. Enter. To put it simply, whoever enters will die. Mayor, do you just want to admit defeat like this? Qin Zi looked into Tang Zhu's eyes and asked seriously. Tang Zhu's excited expression froze instantly. If you admit defeat this time, you will lose forever. Everyone will kneel at the feet of Li's company. Are you willing to watch the lower-level professionals in Linhai City have their bones and marrow sucked out? The young master of the Li family is arrogant and domineering, even to the extent that he can maim and kill people at will. If that happens in the future, who can control others? Qin Zi's voice was very soft, but it was like a heavy hammer, hitting Tang Zhu's heart hard. No, I don't want to, it's just like hell, advertisement. But, there is no possibility of victory now. Tang Zhu's face was full of pain. Believe me once and I will hope. Qin Zi's confident voice made Tang Zhu look shocked again. She stared blankly at the young man in front of her. Speechless. After a long silence, she took out 2 boxes. This is a hidden gem. I originally saved it for myself, but now I give it to you. The hidden gem is priceless, and I got it in the central district. Even if I enter the nightmare level, Twilight Plains, I can still keep it. You return safely. The other is a super blood bead. After eating it, it will directly increase the upper limit of blood volume by 10,000. It is also a treasure I got in the central area. It can help you go further in Twilight Plains. Qin Zi's eyes lit up, both of them were top-notch. Hidden gem. After use, it enters the hidden state, which can conceal the gods. It becomes visible after attacking once. Duration: 30 minutes, number of uses: 4/5. Super Blood Beads. After consumption, blood volume increases by 10,000, no side effects, strength requirement: 50. Tang Zhu watched Qin Zi eat the super blood beads and then nodded with satisfaction. HP plus 1000, current HP: 18,700, it has more than doubled, greatly reducing the probability of sudden death. Qin Zi has always been worried about low blood volume. Of course, it is not considered high now, it can only be said to be barely enough. The nearly 20-meter-high Black Abyss vortex is taller than the surrounding buildings. The place was deserted, and the surrounding people had been dispersed urgently. Occasionally, I can see a few professionals who are not afraid of death. The rewards for the nightmare-level mainline dungeon are still very good. Waves of terrifying aura were released from the vortex, causing the concrete building to quickly collapse. Don't be brave, you must come back alive, clear. After Qin Zi got out of the car, he dialed Liu Yang's phone number. A few seconds later, Liu Yang walked out of a nearby building. There was no smile on his face, it was full of tension and worry. I have found all the people. Most of them are in difficulty at home and want to give it a try. Well, you're scared. Advertisement, that's for sure. This is a nightmare-level main dungeon. Although I haven't been in it, I can feel my calves trembling when I stand outside. Liu Yang said carelessly. Have you brought the hot pot? I think barbecue is more delicious recently. Damn it, brother, you want to have some hot pot when you go in? Liu Yang was stunned. Otherwise, this kind of dungeon takes a long time to clear, at least several days. Is it appropriate for us to go in without eating or drinking? That's true, I brought a barbecue grill. Suddenly, a very cute female voice sounded. I can barbecue, meow. Whose child was released? Qin Zi was stunned for a moment, and then saw Catwoman jumping over. It's you, the one who sold me the red and blue medicine before. That's right, meow. Catwoman nodded repeatedly. Are you a human or a cat? Qin Zi had actually wanted to ask this all along. Oh man, meow, Qin Zi. Why doesn't he believe it? Liu Yang. Let me explain. This Catwoman, well, is definitely not her real name. She belongs to a special organization called Jolin. The Jolin organization specializes in collecting high-quality special skills, equipment and props. Wait, and then sell it, which is considered one of the underground organizations. This organization is very mysterious. If you want to enter, you must transform your body and be recognized by the organization. Catwoman is considered the lowest level existence. That's it, and don't ask me any questions about the Jolin organization, I won't answer them, meow. Jolin organization, do you have a skill book for the noble line? Qin Zi asked casually. No, meow, but there is a special root skill book, which is very perverted, meow. No, I can't answer this kind of question, but you took me away, meow. Catwoman put her hands on her hips angrily. Later, the remaining two team members also appeared one after another. One is a silent woman with long black hair and a cold face, named Mushui, who seems to have many injuries on her body. The other is a middle-aged uncle named Sun Yunlong. His face is full of traces of time, and he looks very enthusiastic towards everyone. Qin Zi looked at each other and then led them into the terrifying Black Abyss vortex. About to enter the nightmare-level main dungeon Twilight Plains. Open black lens bracket. Ask if you want to enter close black lens bracket Chapter 50 Massacre of the Village? About to enter the nightmare-level main dungeon Twilight Plains. Team Qin Zi, would you like to enter? Qin Zi looked back at everyone. I'm going in. Liu Yang, Knight, if you work hard, your bicycle will become a motorcycle. Catwoman, Ranger, Abi, meow meow meow, Mushui, Assassin, yeah. Sun Yunlong, Soldier, my child is sick and I need money urgently. I don't know many things, so I can do whatever I need. Confirm to enter the copy. After Qin Zi saw that all the team members agreed, he clicked OK. It can be said that the current members of Qin Zi's team are all desperate people. More or less, they all have their own difficulties. As for Liu Yang, he is a good buddy and is willing to gamble with him. That's enough, go. Please select your camp. 1 Bobo, weak and surrounded. 2 Holy Royal Family, invaders, with strength far exceeding the Bobo people. Note. Depending on the selected camp, the initial location will be different, and the rewards will also be different. Hey, why is it still there? Qin Zi hesitated for a second and chose Bobo 1, which would give him more experience rewards. Faction selected successfully, initial location, Poison Fog Village. The space began to distort, and black lightning surrounded it. Qin Zi felt his eyes blurred, and stepped on soft soil under his feet. The air was filled with the smell of blood and putrefaction. The sound of insects squeaked in the surrounding grass. The entire sky is filled with black mist, making people feel gloomy. Without saying a word, Qin Zi raised the magic dragon staff in his hand and chanted. Come out, my Dark Ranger. The tall Dark Ranger appeared from the teleportation magic circle, and then as if he smelled some danger, he immediately grabbed the big bow behind his back, hooked his fingers on the bowstring, and looked around cautiously. Is everyone okay? Qin Zi looked at the team members and asked. I'm fine. I'm fine too. Advertisement as a result, before the response could be heard, except for Qin Zi, the words -1, -1, -1, appeared on the heads of the other 4 people's heads. Poisoned. Is this the main dungeon of nightmare difficulty? I lost blood as soon as I came in. Liu Yang's voice was trembling. Meow. I have an antidote potion here. 1 pill per person can remove the toxin, but we are always in a poisonous fog environment, and we will start losing blood again in a few minutes, so I recommend drinking the blood bottle directly. Meow. Catwoman took out 4 antidote potions and handed them to the other team members one by one. Because we are team members, I don't want any money. Meow. The others took the antidote and packed it carefully. After all, this is for life-saving purposes. Mushui, who had always remained silent, suddenly said, "It's strange that no monsters appeared this time. It was just an environment where blood loss continued." Qin Zi glanced at her. "No, there are scary monsters all around, but they just didn't appear. They surrounded the whole village." Huh, Mushui seemed to realize something and looked at Qin Zi with wide eyes. "Yes, it's what you think," Qin Zi said with a wry smile. "Damn it, you two were just waiting for me to play riddles. What's going on?" Liu Yang couldn't wrap his head around it and asked directly. Catwoman and Sun Yunlong also looked confused and couldn't understand. What we are about to face may be slaughter the village. At the same time, Tang Zhu led a group of high-level officials from Linhai City and watched Qin Zi enter the dusk plane. They took off their hats and saluted to show respect. Then, Tang Zhu turned to look at everyone. "Comrades, Qin Zi can enter the nightmare-level dusk plane for Linhai City. Why should we give up? Give me a bite and persevere until the end. Give Linhai City a bright future." The impassioned words immediately made everyone present excited. For the great cause of Linhai City, you can really give up everything. Yes, the loud response immediately rushed into the sky. Tang Zhu took a deep breath, calmed down, and then began to explain the task. "Minister of Commerce, you immediately set up an official market platform. All buying and selling prices will follow market fluctuations. There is no need to be too large at the beginning to maintain the black manor. Just buy and sell copies of yuan. I understand, I'll get started, but the funds. Minister of Finance, we will first allocate 1 billion to this market establishment, and follow-up funds will be advanced according to market performance." Clear. Advertisement as tasks were handed over one by one, the underlying market structure led by the government began to be established. The Black Abyss copy of the manor began to prosper in an orderly manner. The company dog, who was very arrogant before, wanted to switch sides, but without Qin Zi's permission, he could only howl anxiously outside. After all, buying and selling equipment at market prices is really tempting. On the top of Li's company building, bang, another expensive purple sand porcelain cup broke. Li Xinggang's face turned red with anger and his body was trembling. What's the meaning? Can't they see what's going on now? The main dungeon Dusk Plains has entered the nightmare level, and Linhai City will become a restricted area for life. Why don't they kneel down in front of me and apologize? Why are they still developing their damn equipment mall? Do they want to become Linhai City's criminals? He doesn't understand, he really doesn't understand. The people from my family arrived in 9 days and saw the messy scene in Linhai City. Then their whole family will be doomed. The beautiful woman suddenly said from the side. "Do you think they want to gamble? What are you betting on? What capital do they have? They are betting that you don't dare to make Linhai City a restricted area." When Li Xinggong heard this, he fell silent immediately. He really just wanted to scare him. After all, Linhai City had become a restricted area for life, and everything about him was gone. Oh, let's see who has played with whom. When the people in Linhai City disappear one by one, let's see who can sit still. I don't care about those lives anyway. A crazy smile appeared on Li Xinggang's lips. Until an announcement sounded, his smile completely froze. Announcement. Qin Zi's team has officially entered the nightmare-level Black Abyss dungeon Twilight Plains. Select camp. Bobo people, Li Xinggong. Is he crazy? How dare you enter this? Dear, this Qin Zi is very evil. Everyone said it was a genius tomb in the nightmare-level dungeon of the manor, but he passed it by force. I think there must be something in it, the beautiful woman said firmly. Don't ask, it's just a woman's intuition. It's impossible for him to clear the Twilight Plains. Li Xinggong refused without even thinking about it. Twilight Plains and Manor Dungeon are the same difficulty level, so there is no comparison. Furthermore, he has been playing on the normal difficulty level of Twilight Plains for 20 years and it has not ended yet. Now it has become a nightmare level. Can he pass the level? Oh, dear, you have control over the Dusk Plane. Go in and take a look. Wouldn't it be easier to kill Qin Zi when you see him? The beautiful woman continued to give advice. Li Xinggang's eyes lit up after hearing this. Kill Qin Zi directly and eliminate future troubles forever. Okay, Chapter 51 Pig? Slaughter the village? Liu Yang cried out. Entering the nightmare level main dungeon, Twilight Plains. The first thing that happened was such a heartbreaking thing. The villages are full of unarmed people who will basically not resist. But the other party wants to kill. What Liu Yang didn't know was that the real situation was 100 times worse than he thought. The specific situation is still unclear. Since we are temporarily safe now, it means that the Black Abyss copy will enter a state of war after giving us time to find the Bobo people and try to establish contact with the Bobo people. Qin Zi said as he looked around. There was rotten soil everywhere, as well as withered yellow straw as tall as a person. The poisonous gas is highly acidic and sticks to the equipment, making a hissing and corrosive sound, causing serious damage to its durability. Insects such as palm-sized crickets kept colliding with the boots, showing extremely strong aggression. After being trampled to death, their flesh and blood are also sour. Do you think the poison gas was released intentionally? Mushui, who has always remained silent, once again demonstrated what it means to die without surprising people. Hiss. Others took a breath. If that were the case, it would be terrible. The sky, scattered with a thin layer of black smoke, was slightly green. This means they are now in daylight. Qin Zi's team started to set off. They stepped on the mud and walked toward the building in the distance. Suddenly, wooden piles about 4 meters long appeared in the straw in front, and they were filled with people. From bottom to top, it was inserted forcefully, and there were still signs of struggle. Their heads were drooped, and their dull eyes looked downward. Insects and flies flying around landed on the eyes and gnawed at them. The first one who couldn't hold it back was the middle-aged uncle Sun Yunlong. He knelt down and vomited out. The others swayed and endured it. Especially the cute catwoman can act like a normal person, which surprised Qin Zi. Advertisement. It seems that these are all Bobo people in the village. After being caught by the enemy, they were inserted here alive. The other Bobo people in the village don't even dare to collect the corpses, of course, provided there are still Bobo people who survived. Qin Zi frowned slightly and opened his mouth to analyze. Lu Yong couldn't help shouting, This is too cruel and inhumane. It's poison gas, and it's inserting people here. Is it a threat to force a confession? No, I think it's just for fun. Mushui continued, pointing to the overwhelming straw around her, and then said, The enemy may have extremely heavy beast mounts. They stopped here for a long time, obviously watching the Bobo people. The painful struggle before death. As soon as these words came out, everyone else's expressions all changed. Even Catwoman couldn't calm down at this time. Well, if you look at it this way, wouldn't it be very miserable if we were caught, meow? You can say that. Mushui nodded seriously. Qin Zi looked at the chaotic team and smiled bitterly in his heart. Unexpectedly, before seeing the Holy Royal Family, my small team would be a little overwhelmed. Now it seems like they are about to break up, but since they have entered the dungeon, he will not stop anyone who wants to quit. After a pause for a few seconds, Qin Zi looked at everyone and said, Death is the most important thing. Let's bury these Bobo people first. In order to show our position, it will be easier to communicate with the surviving Bobo people. Bury it. Bury it. These corpses are stuck on wooden stakes. If you want to remove them, you have to hold them and pull them out. Very annoying. Sun Yunlong gritted his teeth, then stepped forward and said, I don't know many things, but leave the heavy physical work of digging holes and burying people to me, and I will definitely do it for you. Lu Yong also stepped forward and said, Count me in. I've been lying down for so long, so I should do my part. Qin Zi looked at their desperate looks and immediately said with a smile, No need, don't forget that I am a summoner of the undead. Controlling corpses is my specialty. Then, his eyes narrowed and he stretched out his hand towards the hanging person. Yellow Spring Body Guidance Technique, activate. The man drooping on the wooden stake suddenly came to life. They raised their dull eyes and began to struggle to free themselves from the stakes. Holy shit, brother, why'd I think you were scarier? Lu Yang's eyes widened when he saw this scene, and all the hairs on his body stood up. The impact is too strong, NYA, Sun Yunlong squatted on the roadside again. Snap, snap, snap. Advertisement. The corpses on the wooden piles fell into the mud pile one by one, and then crawled to an open space one after another. They looked at the village in the distance with their dull eyes for more than 10 seconds, then they started to dig the hole by themselves, and then they lay down again. Go in. Soul plus 1, soul plus 1, soul plus 1, soul plus 1, soul plus 1. Underworld Shell Guidance Technique, 550,000ths. There were 5 people in total, contributing 5 souls. You will see with your own eyes the scene of the counterattack and killing of the Holy Royal Family. Huang Quan withdrew his right hand and Qin Zi murmured. The 5 souls stirred up, and hatred exploded in their hearts. Let's continue walking towards the village. Qin Zi's team stepped on the mud and continued walking towards the village. Just after taking a few steps, there was a faint sound of sobbing from the straw beside me. Who? Lu Yong stirred, and the obsidian spear appeared in his hand. Don't get excited, it may be the surviving Bobo people in the village. Qin Zi stopped him immediately, then looked at the source of the sound with a smile, and said, Come out, we are here to help the Bobo people resist the Holy Royal Family. As soon as he finished speaking, a little girl in tattered clothes and a face covered with dirt walked out shivering. Open black lens bracket Xiao Chongchong close black lens bracket, identity. Villager, introduction. The village where I live is controlled by the Holy Royal Family, and I live in hiding in Tibet every day. I saw you burying my aunt's body. You are good people, the little girl said timidly. We are new here, can you tell us what happened here? We will help you. Qin Zi said softly. Then, Qin Zi gave Lu Yong a look, and the latter immediately understood and took out a red apple from the warehouse and handed it to the little girl. He didn't buy any equipment or anything this time, but he just brought a lot of food. When the little girl saw the red apple, her eyes shone with hunger and she started to gnaw it. They call us pigs. The little girl chewed the pulp and said vaguely. In the early morning, they will go to the village to catch Xiao Chongchong. They like to let Xiao Chongchong run away first, and then chase after them on wolves. As long as they can successfully hide in the fields, they will be covered in blood. Apply mud and they won't smell. Sometimes those who are caught will not die, but will be sent to the fortress in front, where they can be taken apart and then spliced together again. Xiao Chongchong has seen them before, and they have several heads. As soon as they saw Xiao Chongchong, they said they would send Xiao Chongchong to the fortress. Chapter 52 Kill Kill Kill. Xiao Chongchong devoured the apple, and the whole story of what happened to the village was vaguely revealed. The person with this special code is so inhuman. This is absolutely heartbreaking. Lu Yong clenched his fists and couldn't help but curse. Everyone else also looked at Xiao Chongchong with complicated expressions. Compared with the oppression of Li's company, Xiao Chongchong's life is obviously more desperate. This is no longer just massacre, but also a crazy use of human life for entertainment. The Bobo camp really made the right choice. If I helped the Holy Royal family to brutally kill the Bobo people like this, I would really be willing to force out. I have never seen such a cruel person. Qin Zi saw Xiao Chongchong finishing an apple, so he took out another one and handed it over. Xiao Chongchong's favorability plus 50. Xiao Chongchong did not eat it, but carefully put the apples away. Why don't you eat? Qin Zi asked curiously. Xiao Chongchong will be left with other friends. They haven't eaten for several days. Good boy. Qin Zi touched her head and his eyes became firmer. That's kill. As long as they dare to appear in front of the Holy Royal family, kill them all. They don't deserve to be in this world. Every morning, they will catch her for an hour, and then they will leave. As long as Xiao Chongchong persists, she can survive. There are still 10 minutes until now. Xiao Chongchong tilted her head and counted on her fingers. It turns out that the members of the Holy Royal family are still here, so that's easy to say. Qin Zi sneered, and after telling everyone not to run around, he raised the magic dragon staff in his hand. Come out, my ghoul necks. The blood-red 5-pointed star unfolded, and 2 terrifying large claws protruded from it, followed by sharp teeth arranged like needle tips, and a powerful mandible, full of power. Nex's body shape is the same as that of ordinary people, but the deformed bones cause it to lie on the ground. The muscles on its back are bulging high, and its claws and head are tilted forward, making it easier for it to tear its enemies into pieces. Terrible in appearance and powerful in combat. Open black lens bracket ghoul Nex close black lens bracket. Advertisement open black lens bracket hero unit close black lens bracket, level. LV.15, cannot exceed summoner level. HP. 89,000. Attributes. Strength 1573, Agility 1639, Intelligence plus 327. Skill 1. Devouring Evolution. Nex continuously accumulates his own evolution value by eating corpses, live ones are also acceptable. After reaching a certain level, he can strengthen a series of body parts such as claws, sharp teeth, muscles, and bones, and has a probability of diving, gliding, and becoming invisible. And other special abilities, there is a very small probability of obtaining the skills of the corpse owner. Skill 2. Toxin Hunting. Nex's claws and fangs contain deadly toxins. After attacking the enemy, they will be infected and cannot detoxify for a short time. All healing effects are prohibited, causing 150 points of bleeding effect per second, 450 points of poison damage per second, and there is a probability of giving paralysis, fainting, slowing down and other negative effects. Deadly Toxin and Nex have a symbiotic relationship. They can sense each other. No matter where the infected creature escapes, Nex can easily predict and steal the other party's basic attributes, a small amount. Skill 3. Magic Immunity. Nex's body has been forged with special alchemy, and all magic damage is ineffective against it. At the same time, it does not have any magic of its own, and cannot use any magic-related auxiliary props. Skill 4. Killing Feast. Nex's body functions are fully released, movement speed plus 100%, attack speed plus 100%, killing efficiency plus 100%, prey perception plus 100%, deadly toxin spread speed plus 100%, combat instinct is fully activated, and he can see through the enemy's weaknesses, devour the enemy's core, duration, 1 hour. After the skill ends, you will be in a state of exhaustion, all attributes will drop by 50%, and your blood volume cannot be restored. Introduction. A mad dog, never let it out. Isn't this just a pure physical killing machine? Just abandon all magic elements and build your physical body to its peak. It's time for these, Holy Royal family, to see what a real monster is. As soon as Nex appeared, a bloody aura filled the air, first frightening his teammates. Father, I haven't seen you for 2 days, and your summons are getting more and more terrifying. You look so fierce, meow, I'm a little scared. Although Mu Shui didn't speak, she looked quite serious as she took 3 steps back. Among them, Xiao Chongchong turned out to be the calmest. She pointed at Nex and said in a sweet voice, the monster chasing Xiao Chongchong is a bit more terrifying than it is, with its arms and legs too long. Ouch. When Nex heard that there was a monster even more ferocious than him, he howled in displeasure. Where is the monster chasing you now? Qin Zi squatted in front of Xiao Chongchong and asked softly. At this time, the tall straw on the left suddenly fell to both sides. Xiao Chongchong suddenly looked frightened and shouted quickly. It's coming. Advertisement. Just this slowly pressing posture is enough to make everyone's hearts rise to their throats. However, the other party didn't seem to be in a hurry and moved forward tremblingly. Only the straw could be seen falling to both sides. What are you pretending to be? Dark Knight, as you command, my lord. The aura in Dark Ranger's eyes was strong. She pulled the bowstring in her hand, and the dark energy condensed at her fingertips. Finally, it formed a black arrow and was released violently. Call out. The straw exploded in all directions, clearing the obstruction in front. They finally saw the monster's full face. First of all, it was a pale human face with no fangs, but it looked very strange. The body was covered with muscles, and its limbs were as slender as a spider, as Xiao Chongchong said. The black arrow hit its forehead just right, causing its huge body to lean back slightly. Minus 12,370. The damage value slowly floated out. The pale monster took an arrow in the head and acted as if nothing happened. It looked at everyone, not hurt and angry, but grinning. This thing must be sick. When everyone saw this pale monster, two words immediately came to their minds. Unlucky. At the same time, the monster's information appeared in front of everyone. The human-faced dog of the Holy Royal Family, Nightmare Level Monster. Level. LV.20. HP. 100,000, restore 50 HP per second. Attributes. Strength 1073, Agility 1297, Intelligence 1538. Skill 1. Stealth Hunting. The human-faced dog can effectively hide itself and set traps based on the enemy's habits and psychological state. Once the enemy falls into the trap, they will be violently ambushed with 5,200 points of damage, and will be 100% disabled. Skill 2. Smile Q. When the human-faced dog sees an enemy, it will smile and implant psychological hints into the enemy's mind. In subsequent series of battles, this hint can gain the upper hand and effectively predict the enemy's next move, increasing the damage to the enemy by 20%. Skill 3. Information Transfer. After the human-faced dog receives important information, it can transmit it to other human-faced dogs over a long distance, and the information can be synchronized in a few seconds. Introduction. A new variety produced by the Holy Royal Family, taboo and powerful. Chapter 53. What kind of dirty thing is this? The human-faced dog slowly crawled out of the straw field with a smile. His long and narrow limbs rested on the ground, like a large insect. Lu Yang. Is this thing still a monster playing tricks on your brain? Catwoman. The three-dimensional attributes are over 1,000, it's so scary, meow. Sun Yunlong. This is the nightmare level difficulty of the main dungeon. All the team members turned pale and retreated in unison. Only Qin Zi stood there with a solemn expression. To be honest, the difficulty of the main dungeon far exceeded my expectations. The so-called human-faced dog in front of me has a blood volume even higher than that of the ghoul Nex. In the previous copy of Nightmare Manor, it could be considered a minor boss, but here it seems to be just an ordinary monster. Judging from the introduction, you can also summon a large group. Speaking of which, such a strong monster must give you a lot of experience. Nex. Do you have the confidence to crush it? Nex climbed up swishingly, disdain showing in his bulging eyes the size of light bulbs. It seems that comparing it to a human-faced dog is a shame for it. Run away. The claws of human-faced dogs are as sharp as razors, and they love to take out people's intestines. The moment Xiao Chongchong saw the human-faced dog, her little face was livid with fear. Her first reaction was to stumble and run back. She was so fast that she plunged into the straw and disappeared. Qin Zi didn't stop him. Despite his young age, he has already developed his own set of experience in fighting monsters in the village. If he tries to stop him on his own, it will have the opposite effect, and the gain will outweigh the loss. When she sees that there is no danger, she will come back on her own. Nex couldn't speak, so he could only growl in displeasure, scratching the ground with his paws, eager to step forward and tear apart the human-faced dog's body. But without Qin Zi's order, it would not rush forward. The human-faced dog was lying in the distance, still with a smile on its pale face, staring at the grinning Nex, and his body seemed to be a little stiff with fear. The two sides are similar in terms of attributes, but their hidden bloodlines are completely different. You're quite vindictive. Come on, let me see your strength. Qin Zi crossed his arms across his chest and said softly. Next moment, like a wild bull that had taken off its reins, Nex pawed at the ground crazily and began to sprint wildly. It jumped up from the ground, opened its claws and rushed towards the human-faced dog. I want to give the opponent a set of close combat. Advertisement. The human-faced dog still had a smile on its face. It seemed to have seen through Nex's actions. It took a step back, then stretched out its sword-like right paw and stabbed upward. The location of the stabbing happened to be Nex's abdomen. The frictional fire splashed out and made a tooth-wrenching squeaking sound. Minus 1,278. The damage value popped up from Nex's head. The next moment, it gave up on the human-faced dog, and instead opened its mouth and bit into the long and narrow claw arms. Hang kai. The needle-like sharp teeth bite up and bite down together with the claws. Minus 3,678. The right paw is disabled, the toxin is invalid. Minus 3,721. The right paw is disabled, the toxin is invalid. Minus 3,795. The right paw is disabled, the toxin is invalid. Ghoul Nex swallows the right claw of the human-faced dog, gains evolution +1, and intelligence attribute +1. Ghoul Nex swallows the right claw of the human-faced dog, gains evolution +1, and intelligence attribute +1. Open black lens bracket. Close black lens bracket 1 evolution point at a time, with a little bit of intelligence. Is it possible that my Nex is going to have a brain? Ghouls basically rely on instinct when fighting. It would be nice if they could have some brains. Ah. What was unexpected was that the human-faced dog screamed in pain. It watched in shock as its right paw was devoured, which was incredible. How dare you eat me? Nex eats very quickly. The large mouth protruding forward has a total of 2 sets of fangs. One set is a sharp needle fang that protrudes outward and is likely to increase the capacity of the mouth. Another set is spread in the mouth, and the tongue is equipped with barbs to send food to the stomach. A mouthful of food was swallowed into the stomach in just 1 second. The right paw of the human-faced dog ceased to exist within a few seconds. Just as the human-faced dog screamed in pain, Nex jumped forward again, and then hugged it face to face. The screams of the human-faced dog suddenly stopped, the two sides looked at each other and the air became a little quiet. Nex opened his bloody mouth and directly took off the human-faced dog's head. He took a few sips, and then he swallowed it into his stomach. Minus 21,370, severe brain damage, toxin is ineffective. Minus 22,143, severe brain damage, toxin is ineffective. Minus 22,189, severe brain damage, toxin is ineffective. Advertisement. Ghoul Nex, swallows the right claw of the human-faced dog, gains evolution +5, and intelligence attribute +5. Ghoul Nex, swallows the right claw of the human-faced dog, gains evolution +5, and intelligence attribute +5. Open black lens bracket. Close black lens bracket. As the human-faced dog lost its head, its long and narrow body supported by 3 limbs suddenly collapsed to the ground helplessly. The back paws were raised and pointed towards the sky, and they twitched from time to time. Shinzi. Is this Ghoul Nex? So cruel. The attributes of both sides are similar, but they are not on the same level at all. Moreover, after severely injuring the brain, it can even break through attribute limitations and inflict a devastating blow to the opponent. There are various signs that the Black Abyss dungeon is not a gamified world, but a real world where people bleed and die. Congratulations, your Ghoul Nex killed a human-faced dog of the Holy Royal family and gained experience, 1200 points. 1200 o'clock. Developed. You know, the ordinary monsters in the Manor Nightmare dungeon only have a few dozen points of experience, and the gap between the two sides is dozens of times. And judging from the introduction of the human-faced dog, it seems that it can also notify other human-faced dogs. Isn't this a gift? This is not a nightmare-level mainline dungeon, it is clearly a paradise for gaining experience. After the human-faced dog fell, the other team members, instead of breathing a sigh of relief, looked at the gobbling Ghoul Nex with extremely horrified eyes. The same sentence came out of their heads as if they had a tacit understanding. What kind of dirty thing is this? At the same time, the outside world. The news that Shin Zi entered the nightmare-level main dungeon spread throughout the entire network. It instantly caused a tsunami of discussion. Countless people burst into tears. What? Shin Zi entered the nightmare-level main dungeon, Dusk Plains. That's a mainline dungeon of levels 15 to 40. That means you can encounter not only level 15 monsters, but also level 40 monsters. There are no restrictions. The most terrifying thing is that the level 40 boss, the level suppression makes people feel hopeless. Damn Lee Company, they actually upgraded the main dungeon to a nightmare dungeon. They're threatening the entire people of Linhai City. Shin Zi, I really cried to death. For the sake of Linhai City and the loyalty in his heart, he brazenly walked into the nightmare-level main story dungeon. Calculating the time, it should be an hour now. Shin Zi's body has not been teleported yet. There is still a chance. Chapter 54 continued to increase the stakes and fight to the death. Black thunder and lightning fell from the sky of Linhai City like a waterfall. The terrifying aura makes the monsters in the wild hide far away and dare not approach. Li Xinggong stood on the top floor of Li's building, his pupils reflecting the apocalyptic scene. 60 professionals stood behind him, all of whom were above level 20. Many of these professionals have begun to show fear, obviously realizing something. You don't have to be afraid. The camp we chose this time is the Holy Royal Family, and it is also the camp one always choose. Li Xinggong turned around and looked at all the professionals present. The Holy Royal Family has an absolute advantage in the Twilight Plains and has the power to end the war, but they don't want it to end there. They want to seize the Bobo people's secret treasures and squeeze the Bobo people's biological value through disease research. You understand what I want to say, right? There was a sudden commotion among the professionals, looking at each other with astonishment in their eyes. The key information about Dusk Plain is so exciting. Of course, in today's era of exquisite egoism, they will not pay attention to the sufferings of the Bobo people, nor will they think about how inhumane the Holy Royal Family is. As long as his life is not in danger and there are benefits, clinging to the high branches of the Li family is enough. After you enter the dungeon, you have one goal. Kill Shin Zi in the dungeon. Do you understand? Clear, of course, I will also enter, and the specific actions will be contacted in the copy. As soon as these words came out, all the professionals' eyes lit up. Li Xinggong is a level 34 professional, while Shin Zi is only level 15. It's more than twice as high. How do you lose? Their entry this time was almost free of charge, and it was also a nightmare-level mainline dungeon, so the experience and equipment rewards they received were even richer. Who wouldn't want to do a business where you can make a sure profit without losing any money? Whoever wants to quit, please raise your hand. I, Mr. Li, will never force you. Li Xinggong looked at everyone with sharp eyes. The professionals who had been hesitant at first were suddenly swaying profusely. If you quit now, you may have to get out of the Li family in the future. This high branch must be grasped tightly. President, I am willing to go through hell or high water for the sake of our company, no matter what. This Shin Zi is indeed going too far. He even made the president have to activate the nightmare difficulty of the main dungeon. He ignored the danger in Linhai City. He really deserves to be damned. Don't worry, President, as long as I see Qin, I will immediately chop him on the head with the big axe in my hand without any hesitation. Advertisement. All the professionals expressed their loyalty excitedly, and Li Xingong nodded with satisfaction. Qin's behavior of entering the nightmare-level main dungeon greatly inspired the lower-level professionals to resist. When I arrived 9 days later, he was doomed when he saw this scene. It's better to deal with it directly with your own hands and crush the hopes of these low-level professionals. Since they are oxen and horses, just move the bricks for me. I don't know how much I weigh. Li Xing just raised his hand, and a small black vortex appeared in the empty room, surrounded by short black lightning. Since everyone agrees, without further ado, let's go in now. You remember, after entering the Dusk Plane, each team's birthplace is different, so you must try to get in touch with other team members as soon as possible, and finally follow my command. Of course, if you get news about Qin and have a very good chance to kill him, you can do it directly. Whoever kills Qin in the end, I will give him a heavy reward. After Li Xingong explained carefully, he watched the professionals present forming teams and walking into the Dusk Plane one after another. Finally, he led his team members into the Black Vortex. Announcement. Li's team enters the nightmare-level main dungeon Twilight Plains. Lineup selection. Holy Royal Family. Announcement. Li's second team enters the nightmare-level main dungeon Twilight Plains. Lineup selection. Holy Royal Family. 12 announcements made all the professionals in Linhai City stunned. This is almost the most cutting-edge professional strength in Linhai City. They actually entered the nightmare-level main dungeon Dusk Plains collectively to carry out an encirclement and suppression of Qin. Until the last announcement sounded, public opinion exploded instantly. Announcement. Li Xingang's team enters the nightmare-level main dungeon Twilight Plains. Lineup selection. Holy Royal Family. 1 stone stirs up 1,000 waves. The lower-level professionals who were so excited just now felt as if they had been splashed with cold water. Everyone's life was beginning to be prosperous and promising, but Li's company just did this. The Manor Dungeon and the official mall formed a perfect trading cycle, with equipment going to those in need, and those who sold the equipment getting a lot of money, but this was all based on Qin's existence. Advertisement. The Li company is really bad. They specifically chose the Holy Royal Family to oppose Qin's Bobo camp. Everyone knows about Sima Zhao's intentions. It's over, it's over. It's all over now. Qin is currently only level 15. He not only has to face high-level monsters, but also faces the encirclement and suppression targets of level 34 Li Xingong. None of the currently known geniuses can cross the level 20 gap. It's really damn good. I finally had some hope in life, and now it's going to be extinguished again. How can we help Qin? I really don't want him to die, let alone destroy everything. I only remember that there are some special props that can help, but those are in the hands of the super family and we can't see them at all. Why? In the rental cabin, Lu Xiu was walking around with a bowl of instant noodles. Suddenly, the instant noodles fell and exploded on the ground. Lu Xiu froze in place, looking at the phone and trembling all over. The headline news that just popped up is, the elite professionals of Li Company formed a team and entered the Dusk Plane. Is this to hunt down the peerless genius? Why? Why did things become like this? Lu Xiu's face was full of panic and worry. She just applied for a 100 million installment loan for Qin and bought 2 skill chains. As a result, Li's company went out en masse to find Qin. Could it be that the company went to collect the debt because he owed too much? Until now, she didn't know what to say. Although Qin took the initiative to request the loan, doesn't she have any responsibility in it? Not only is it there, it's also huge. It was me who caused Qin to be hunted down. If I hadn't applied for a loan for him, I wouldn't be where I am today. I'm so. Damn it. Ghoul Nex is devouring the human-faced dog, and each bite can provide 1 evolution point and 1 intelligence point. Until the announcement sounded, Qin raised his head in surprise. All the elites of Li's company have come in? And you chose the Holy Royal Family? Chapter 55. Are you here to eat barbecue? Ghoul Nex is not that lovable in terms of appearance or eating habits. The team members stood as far apart as possible. I was afraid that I might spit it out accidentally. Lu Yang. The ghoul I met before was not like this. Foster father, I would like to know what it experienced in your hands. Catwoman. I can't bear it anymore, I'm about to vomit, meow. Sun Yunlong. How could you hold it back? I even vomited out bile. Even Mu Shui, who had a mysterious origin, couldn't help but cover her belly at this time, feeling her stomach churn upwards. After she quickly drank a bottle of stabilizing potion, she felt much relieved, and then looked at Qin with a complicated expression. If I read correctly, you ghoul should be a hero unit. That's right. Qin didn't hide it, he admitted it directly. Mu Shui glanced at the Dark Ranger next to him again and said nothing more. The 2 heroic units stirred up waves in her heart. Which superfamily does this come from? Heroic units all have growth potential, and in the end they're even stronger than professionals of the same level. And Qin actually owns 2 of them. At this time, a rustling sound suddenly came from the straw field next to it. It instantly touched everyone's tense nerves. Lu Yang jumped up like a conditioned reflex and asked in a trembling voice. Who? It's me, little brother, did you really kill the human-faced dog? The childish little face covered with soil poked out from between the straw. After everyone saw Xiao Chongchong's face clearly, they immediately breathed a sigh of relief. They are glad that they are outsiders. It would be really hopeless to live in such a nightmarish village since childhood and have to battle wits and courage with monsters like human-faced dogs every day. You really killed the human-faced dog. How is this possible? Human-faced dogs cannot be killed. They are invulnerable to weapons, water and fire. How did you do it? Xiao Chongchong walked out of the straw field, her face full of disbelief. At this time, Ghoul Nex suddenly raised his head, holding the remaining hind paw of the human-faced dog in his mouth. Seeing this, Xiao Chongchong covered her mouth. Don't be afraid, it is my lil pet, and it ate the human-faced dog. Well, its nickname is also Puppy. Qin Zi first stabilized Xiao Chongchong's mood, and then shouted to Ghoul Nex. Advertisement, come on, bark twice. Ouch. Woof woof woof. Ghoul Nex came rolling over, looking coquettish, but this trick immediately aroused everyone's disgust. Just be normal, thank you. Well, there's no need to act coquettishly. I just wanted to confirm that it is ugly but has a good personality, Qin Zi said with a dry cough. Xiao Chongchong fell into silence as she looked at the plasma exploding all over the floor. Where are the other people in the village? Is the Bobo Resistance Organization here? How can I contact them? After the misunderstanding was resolved, Qin Zi began to ask for key information. After all, Dusk Plains is the main dungeon of the battlefield, and all rewards are distributed from both camps. He killed indiscriminately in this pass and did not receive any camp missions. In the end, his experience and rewards were greatly reduced. Everyone in the village is hiding. The resistance organization has been found and killed. The village chief has always wanted to contact the Bobo people. There is key information about the Holy Royal family here and he wants to give it to them, but the contact information is all interrupted. Xiao Chongchong said with a dark expression. Qin Zi's heart moved and he felt that the village chief should be the one who issued the camp mission, so he quickly asked. Is the village chief still alive? I don't know. Grandpa, the village chief, is just like everyone else. They were all chased by human-faced dogs and hid everywhere. I don't know yet whether he has been caught by the human-faced dogs. So where did everyone hide? Even in this straw field, as long as we smear mud on our bodies, the human-faced dogs won't be able to smell us. The human-faced dogs only have 1 hour to search and kill. As long as they can survive it, they will be safe. I see. Qin Zi turned to look at the surrounding straw fields. All the villagers were hiding in them. They were playing a hide-and-seek game. Therefore, as long as all the human-faced dogs in the straw field are killed, the other villagers will be safe, and the camp mission can be successfully received, and then they will go straight to the fortress of the Holy Royal family. Certainly. He still needs to be more cautious. The level difference between the enemies should not exceed 10 levels. Otherwise, the possibility of sudden death is still very high. Lu Yang, are you hungry now? Huh? Lu Yang was stunned, and the others were also confused by Monk Zhang-er. I'm hungry, maybe. Set up the barbecue stall and make more mutton skewers. Look at Nex eating so deliciously. It makes me hungry. Qin Zi took out a deck chair from the warehouse and sat on it comfortably. Oh, I understand. Lu Yang was very confused, but he chose to believe Qin Zi unconditionally. Advertisement, just do whatever you are told, without any ambiguity. This is the realization of being a soy sauce. The other three people were not so enlightened. They stared blankly at Lu Yang's work, with big question marks appearing above their heads. In this environment, do you want barbecue? Seriously? Soon, the scene filled with smoke and the smell of meat confirmed their suspicions. Really want barbecue? Catwoman, Wartfa, she no longer meowed, but instead issued a soul-like torture. Even the cold Mushui opened her mouth wide at this time and was speechless. On the contrary, the middle-aged Uncle Sun Yunlong was the most aware. He immediately started to work with Lu Yang and handed the first batch of sizzling and oily meat skewers to Qin Zi. Qin Zi took a bite, and the aroma of meat and seasoning filled his mouth. Smells good. Xiao Chongchong, would you like to take a bite too? Xiao Chongchong's eyes lit up when she ate it. She had never eaten anything so delicious. Brother, if we do this, the human-faced dogs and the pursuers of the Holy Royal family will come for us. Xiao Chongchong said inarticulately. What I want is for them to come to me. Qin Zi smiled slightly, then removed Next Summoning Technique from the skill upgrade, and then put Dark Ranger Summoning Technique on it. Now the level of Thunder Skeleton has become the lowest. Things were just as he expected. Barbecue smoke rose in the straw field, coupled with the message sent by the human-faced dog before it died. Countless human-faced dogs who were playing tricks on the villagers, as well as pursuers riding strange wolves, all turned to look at the rising smoke. The next moment, they rushed in from all directions. Countless upright straws fell down like waves, coming. Qin Zi's eyes narrowed and he immediately stretched out the magic dragon staff in his hand. Come out, my thunder skeleton. Purple thunder began to flash around, and the 5-pointed star summoning array opened in the thunder. One after another, densely packed, there are 300 of them. A heavily armed thunder skeleton monster with tiny dragon scales on its body immediately fills the surrounding space. Chapter 56 Holy Royal Family. The killing begins. Purple thunder flashed in the air, and the thunder skeleton warrior slowly fell. A total of 300 people form 2 square formations, surrounding Qin Zi and others. The invisible magnetic field spreads out between the skeletons and purple thunder passes between the skeletons. The straw cannot withstand the high temperature and burns quickly. The soft mud under the feet also quickly hardens, and the water vapor turns into white mist and spreads in all directions. The blood deduction value of -11 to 1 above Liu Yang and others' heads has disappeared. But they didn't care about this. Instead, they stared at the densely packed Thunder Skeleton elite warriors around them with their mouths open, unable to say a word. If Ghoul Nex was a small shock, then the Thunder Skeleton elite warriors gave them a big shock. Liu Yang was stunned and shouted, "Father, have you stabbed the skull nest?" "Ward, skeletons are just skeletons, why are they still charged?" "Meow, the hair on my body is so electrified that it explodes and turns black." "Meow." Catwoman also shouted, waving her claws in the air. It instantly disturbed many classics. What should I do?" Sun Yunlong even collapsed on the ground. This middle-aged man saw such a terrifying skeleton for the first time. How did you summon so many skeletons? As far as I know, such an exaggerated skill must be at least the level of forbidden magic to be implemented. No, you are much better than forbidden magic. If making this skill into a skill book will cause a bloody storm in the Dragon Kingdom. Mu Shui seemed to know better, her voice was trembling. "That's why I asked you to start the barbecue. This battle has nothing to do with us. Just eat and drink and wait until the battle is over. Did you bring chairs or something? If you don't bring them, you can only stand. It will take a long time to clear the nightmare level main story dungeon this time. After finishing this meal, I don't know when I can have another meal." Qin Zi lay comfortably in the recliner and put each fragrant mutton skewer into his mouth. "Have another sip of ice-cold happy water and enjoy it." After the Thunder Skeleton elite warriors emerged from the five-pointed star formation, they showed extremely strong discipline. They stood side by side, with two short bursts of lightning flashing in their empty eye sockets. The elite Thunder Skeleton warriors summoned now are no longer comparable to the previous batch of ordinary warriors. First, the body grows in size. Purple plasma flows in the straight spine, flowing along the ring-shaped ribs in the center, and a heart composed of pure thunder energy is formed in the hollow chest. Every powerful pump will cause the electric light to flow along the bones spread rapidly, filling the leg bones, hand bones, toe bones, and Tinling Gai. At the same time, they all carry a long axe in their hands, with an axe handle nearly 2 meters long and a parallelogram-shaped axe blade. It looks a bit like a human fire axe, but the axe blade is made of a pitch-black unknown material. Every time the thunder heart pumps, the surface of the axe blade will light up with spiderweb-like electric light. This is the mainstay of the Thunder Skeleton clan, the Thunder Skeleton battle group that can sweep away many forces. Advertisement. Qin Zi summoned 2 square formations at once. Elite warriors of the Thunder Skeleton clan. Open black lens bracket. Special root monster. Close black lens bracket. Level: LV.15. HP: 53,000. Attributes: Strength 1782, Agility 793, Intelligence 238. Skill 1. Thunder Heart. The special ability of the Thunder Skeleton family is that by transforming their own skeletons into thunder, they gain terrifying power that far exceeds that of living creatures. It is passive and cost-free. Along with the pumping and contraction of the Thunder Heart, the basic attribute bonus also changes accordingly, and the attack bonus is 0%, 200%, speed bonus 0%, 200%, defense bonus 0%, 200%, etc., and comes with Thunder Paralysis, Thunder Burn, Thunder Acceleration and other effects. Phalanx Activation Bonus. All bonuses are increased by 30%, Thunder Strike ability is obtained, and Phalanx Information Transmission is obtained. Skill 2. Immortality Characteristics. After the blood volume of the elite warriors of the Thunder Skeleton clan is cleared, the bones lose their support and are scattered on the ground. After 500 seconds, if there is no crushing blow, all the bones will emit lightning, connect to each other, and resurrect with 20% of the blood volume, no limit on the number of times. Phalanx Activation Bonus. Resurrection time reduced to 100 seconds. Skill 3. Thunder Infection. After killing the enemy, the thunder energy will quickly remove the flesh and blood from the corpse and fill the bones, turning it into a thunder inferior skeleton and summoning it, inheriting 30% of the basic attributes. Since ordinary creatures cannot withstand the power of thunder, after 30 minutes will be permanently damaged. Phalanx Activation Bonus. The endurance time is extended to 24 hours, and strong skeletons can be selected for reuse, or even permanently added to the Thunder Skeleton battle group. Introduction. The natural disaster of skeletons that scares countless forces. The more you fight, the more skeletons you get. The more you fight, the stronger you become. A Thunder Skeleton elite warrior is so strong. Who can defeat a phalanx composed of 300 skeletons? The key is that my level limits the attributes of the summoned objects. If I am level 30 now, then the attributes of the Thunder Skeleton can be at least tripled. The same is true for other summoned objects. Level is the key. Human-faced dog, right? Holy Royal Family, right? Kill them for me, no one will be left alive. The Thunder Skeleton elite warriors seem to have received an imperial decree. Advertisement. 400 pumping plasma hearts in the chest are like muffled thunder, and the mere shock can cause internal injuries to the enemy. At this moment, an extremely respectful shout suddenly sounded outside the skeleton phalanx. Please wait a moment, respected summoner of the undead. On behalf of the Holy Royal Family, I want to talk to you. Oh, Qin Zi raised his eyebrows. He had never seen the so-called Holy Royal Family. As the saying goes, if you know your enemy and yourself, you can fight 100 battles without danger. Just take this opportunity to find out. Let the one who speaks come over. Qin Zi issued an order, and the Thunder Skeleton square spread out into an empty path. Two 3-meter-tall thunder skeleton elite warriors strode in carrying humanoid creatures, dragging behind them a whimpering and barking strange dog. This strange dog actually had 8 legs, which was really weird. And this humanoid creature should be the Holy Royal Family. First of all, his head is bald and shiny, his eyebrows are engraved with golden rhombuses, and he is also dressed in bright clothes, which is much better than Xiao Chongchong, who is covered in mud. The Holy Royal Family stood up gracefully and sorted out their messy clothes. Then the first words he spoke made Qinzi frown. Dear summoner of the undead, with your status, how can you be with these pigs? With your strength, you can definitely become a guest of our Holy Royal Family and enjoy worship. He raised his head proudly as he spoke, as if it was a supreme honor. Qinzi saw the panel of the Holy Royal Family, and after understanding the basic information, he waved his hand to the Thunder Skeleton elite warrior and said, "Chop him into pieces for me." The Holy Royal Family instantly panicked. "No, how dare you?" Chapter 57 Massive Experience, Crazy Upgrades. The Holy Royal Family rode strange dog mounts with 8 legs and led the human-faced dogs to surround them with a grin. He thought about how to disembowel these pigs and listen to their dying cries. As a result, he was defeated by the sudden appearance of the Thunder Skeleton. Holy Royal Family Captain of the Hunting Team, open black lens bracket Nightmare Elite Monster close black lens bracket. Level: LV.20. Attributes: Strength 2375, Agility 793, Intelligence 1795. Skill 1. Sacred Crystal. The Holy Royal Family was originally just an ordinary human race, until a man came to the throne and declared that the Holy Royal Family was above all living things, possessing supreme blood pupils unmatched by any living thing. After cruel experiments on the Bobo people, they finally succeeded. He researched the sacred crystal and engraved it between his eyebrows. In combat status, damage plus 50%, speed plus 50%, and the use of sacred energy. Skill 2. Whistle Summoning. The experimental creatures of the Holy Royal Family within a 5-kilometer radius will gather after hearing the whistle and hunt for the Bobo people. Skill 3. Team Flag. The captain of the Holy Royal Family and hunting team is responsible for commanding the entire team. All members have plus 20% damage and plus 20% speed. If the captain dies and morale collapses, the damage of all members will be reduced by 20% and the speed will be reduced by 20%. Introduction. His duty is to build the Bobo village into a pig pen for disease experiments. This thing is so damned, at present, it seems that the Holy Royal Family has the power to destroy the Bobo people. Due to the need for experiments and other reasons, the Bobo people have been kept until now. The entire area may be controlled by the Holy Royal Family. So the question is, choosing the Bobo camp is a nightmare level difficulty, but where does the nightmare level difficulty of the Holy Royal Family come from? Is it possible that the Holy Royal Family is also facing some terrible crisis? Xiao Chongchong's first reaction when she saw the leader of the Holy Royal Family and the hunting team was to run away, but as soon as she took 2 steps, she was blocked by the Thunder Skeleton. She rushed out twice, but was blocked by the Thunder Skeleton. He blocked his way back, so he could only hide behind Qinzi with his whole body trembling. Her fear of the Holy Royal Family has been engraved in her genes. Especially the smiling face of the human-faced dog. Whenever you see something you want to die, the hair on your body will stand up. From now on, you don't have to be afraid, because I will prove to you that they're just human beings. Qinzi touched Xiao Chongchong's head and said softly. Then he raised his head slightly and spit out a sharp word. Kill. The captain of the hunting team of the Holy Royal Family seems to have very high attributes, but he is really a coward. He seems to be used to bullying the weak. Once someone with the same strength as him or more powerful appears, he will lose his fighting spirit in an instant. Advertisement. He lay on the ground and shouted, Dear summoner of the undead, why do you want to help these pigs? You should be as noble as us. The captain of the hunting team has invited you to join the Holy Royal Family. Can we also change camps between each other? Qinzi was a little surprised, and then waved casually. It's not you who decides who is noble and who is low. You, the Holy Royal Family, don't have this qualification either. The face of the leader of the Holy Royal Family and the hunting team changed instantly. He no longer cared about nobility and elegance, but shouted in panic. No, don't kill me. The square formation formed by the Thunder Skeletons resealed the airway. Then you can see countless Thunder Skeletons, tightly surrounding the leader of the Holy Royal Family and hunting team. A pair of axes with flashing spider web patterns were raised above their heads, and then they slashed violently. -2723, -2801, -2932. The damage from a single skeleton is not enough to kill the leader of the Holy Royal Family and the hunting team instantly. But if more than a dozen skeletons surround them and deal damage, the damage per second will be considerable. The leader of the Holy Royal Family and the hunting team fell in the second round of attacks and died screaming. Congratulations, you successfully killed the leader of the Holy Royal Family and the hunting team and gained experience, 2,300 points. The ghoul next to him couldn't hold himself back for a long time. His sharp claws kept digging on the ground, and his eyes were bulging like light bulbs, full of desire for blood and flesh. And Qinzi has already seen all this. Go ahead. After receiving the order, Ghoul Acres couldn't wait to rush forward and bit off the head of the leader of the Holy Royal Family and the hunting team in one bite. Ghoul next swallows the head of the leader of the Holy Royal Family and hunting team, gaining evolution +10, strength attribute +10, and holy energy +5. What the hell is sacred energy? Shinzi couldn't stand it anymore. According to the personality of Ghoul Nex, who can eat everything, what will he eventually evolve into? After the death of the leader of the Holy Royal Family and the hunting team, screams of terror sounded outside the phalanx. The damage and speed of all members of the hunting party are reduced by 20%. Advertisement. The next moment, the Thunder Skeleton lifted the defensive formation and spread out to attack the Holy Royal Family. After all, the Holy Royal Family and the hunting team have basic attributes to support them, and they still have some resistance. But that's all. Facing 10 times the number of Thunder Skeletons, plus the surprise attack of Ghoul Nex, and the long-range kill of Dark Ranger. They can no longer hold it any longer. The human-faced dog finally stopped smiling. Surrounded by a group of Thunder Skeletons, it raised its neck in despair and tried to escape. More than a dozen square axes were raised and dropped, splashing countless blood. -2,891, -2,907, -2,918. After 2 rounds, the human-faced dog was dying and basically had no ability to resist. Congratulations, you killed a human-faced dog. Gained experience, 1200. Congratulations, you killed a member of the Holy Royal Hunting Team and gained experience, 1500. Congratulations, you killed a modified dog mount and gained experience, 700. Open black lens bracket. Close black lens bracket. Anyway, you kill people when you see them, and you kill dogs when you see dogs. After pouring a huge amount of experience, I was promoted to 2 levels in a row. Congratulations, you have successfully upgraded to LV.16, all attributes +1, free attributes +4, HP +400, mana +100. Congratulations, you have successfully upgraded to LV.17, all attributes +1, free attributes +4, HP +400, mana +100. For other professionals, the main effect of upgrading is to increase basic attributes and skill damage. But for Shinzi, the most important thing about upgrading is the ability to unblock summoned objects. Xiao Chongchong was stunned by the one-sided fighting around him. The Holy Royal Family, who were so terrifying that they couldn't defeat them, were hacked to death like dogs. When I think of my life of hiding from place to place, I was extremely panicked. Tears welled up immediately. At this moment, she did not feel the satisfaction of revenge, but her nose felt sour and she cried. Shinzi looked at Xiao Chongchong, who was crying and sighed slightly. It's all over. Chapter 58. The camp war begins. The Holy Royal Family and the hunting team have a total of 40 monsters, including the human-faced dogs. As long as you are surrounded by Thunder Skeletons, you basically can't escape. Seeing that their defeat was certain, one of the Holy Royals threw his strange dog mount to the Thunder Skeleton, then his body erupted with holy light, and he fled wildly outside. Whoosh! An arrow condensed with black energy shot out, piercing the back of his neck. The huge inertia brought him to the ground, -30,000. The Thunder Skeleton behind stepped on the lightning, grabbed his feet and dragged him back. No! Amid the panicked screams, the square axe was raised and dropped. Congratulations, you killed a member of the Holy Royal Family and the hunting team and gained experience, 1500. The dust and mist gradually dispersed, and the sounds of fighting and screaming disappeared. The elite warriors of the Thunder Skeleton clan stood back in the square formation with tiny groups of electric light flashing in their empty eye sockets. Full of discipline. During the resistance of the Holy Royal Family, some blood levels have dropped to half. Disappear, my skeleton. Shinzi raised the magic dragon staff in his hand, and the pentagram teleportation array appeared again. The Thunder Skeletons sank into it one by one. The mighty skeleton phalanx disappeared, leaving only the corpses of the Holy Royal Family on the ground. The once arrogant Holy Royal Family is now lying on the ground like dead dogs. Ghoul Nex gnawed happily, taking one big bite after another. Its stomach never seemed full. Yellow Spring Body Guidance Technique. Huang Quan stretched out his right hand, and the souls of the 40 corpses immediately emerged. Soul +1, Soul +1, Soul +1, Soul +1, Yellow Spring Soul Capacity, 45 50,000ths. What surprised Shinzi was that the strange dog mount with 8 legs had no soul. It's more like it was forced together. What on earth is this Holy Royal Family doing? Plop. Xiao Chongchong stared at the corpses on the ground, then collapsed on the ground, with tears on her face. Dead, all dead, ha ha ha. She never thought that the Holy Royal Family would die. As long as you can escape being rounded up and hunted down, you are lucky. Advertisement. The Holy Royal Family and the hunting team were all wiped out. This was something she never dreamed of. Once, a playmate was kidnapped right next to the muddy patch where she was hiding. She covered her mouth and nose tightly, not daring to make any sound. Those high-flying guys lay at their feet like dead dogs. It's over like this. This is a nightmare-level mainline dungeon. The first wave of monsters was eliminated in a few minutes. How is this possible? Mu Shui, who had always remained cold and silent, was the first to shout out at this moment. She knows more things and can feel the shock even more. The most important thing is that she has teamed up with many professionals and has never seen this kind of fighting method. Ordinary professionals fight with the help of blood bottles and terrain advantages to grind down the monster's health. Geniuses, noble professionals fight, taking advantage of their skills and characteristics to resist damage to their teammates, and then pull monsters one by one to eliminate and clean them up. How can they kill 40 monsters in just 1 month? As a result, it was all solved within a few minutes. This kind of combat power can be used to clear a small map alone. Just get used to it, just shout 666 from the side. On the contrary, Lu Yang comforted Mushui, saying that you must have the consciousness to do soy sauce. He took out a large pile of raw mutton skewers and handed them to Mushui. Mushui. What are you still doing? Barbecue. Mushui took the raw mutton skewers in a daze, feeling unreal. Meow meow meow. What just happened? Catwoman stood there with a dull expression. I don't know anything, just barbecue. Sun Yunlong was probably the busiest person present, running back and forth to set up the barbecue stall, and the grilled meat skewers were excellent. After a while, the straw field in the distance suddenly started to rustle. Villagers with muddy faces and skinny bones appeared one after another. When they saw the corpse of the Holy Royal family lying on the ground, they all took a few steps back with frightened expressions on their faces. It's from the hunting team, run quickly. They were not sure whether they were dead or alive, so they turned around and ran away. The fear was clearly deep in his bones. Xiao Chongchong quickly ran up and shouted, they're already dead, they're already dead, they were all killed by my little brother. Advertisement. After calling for a long time, all the villagers turned around nervously. After verifying that the Holy Royal family was indeed dead, they all collapsed on the ground. Thank you, outsiders. The village chief, who was covered in dirt, came out and looked at Qin Zi and the other five sincerely. Poison Fog Village favorability plus 500, your courage and strength are amazing. If you can destroy the hunting team of the Holy Royal family, you should be able to escape from here smoothly. Go north. That is the weak area of the Holy Royal family's defense. We Bobo people have established underground defenses there. Take my token, they will accept you, the village chief said, taking off a silver ring and handing it to Qin Zi. Whether to accept the village chief's token, the silver ring. After agreeing, you will officially join the Bobo camp and obtain camp tasks. Village chief, please take back the token, Qin Zi said with a smile. Lu Yang and others suddenly looked puzzled. Why did they refuse? That's fine. Leave the sphere of influence of the Holy Royal family and live a good life. The village chief nodded to express his understanding. The Holy Royal family is so insane that not everyone is willing to fight against them. Village chief, you misunderstood. I want to stay in the village and kill all the Holy Royal families around me, so that I can win faster. Huh. The village chief suddenly raised his head and looked at Qin Zi in disbelief. Then he shook his head and said, if you can completely wipe out the hunting team of the Holy Royal family, I admit that you are very strong. But if you think that you can kill all the Holy Royal family around you, then you are wrong. Have you seen that mountain peak? There is a defensive castle of the Holy Royal family on the top of the mountain, which contains not only the elite troops of the Holy Royal family, and the flesh and blood monsters they created, and they are still studying diseases inside. There are still many strongholds around, and they should be on the way to encircle our village now. It's still too late for you to run now. The village chief is very sincere, he does not want the hero to die here. If I run away, won't you all die? After hearing this, the village chief smiled miserably and said, we are no different from being dead here. Grandpa, the village chief, Xiao Chongchong choked and said, I just hope you can take her with you. She is still young and will have a lot of time in the future. We will stay in the village, and after killing all the Holy Royal family, we will board the castle. Qin Zi's attitude was very firm. The surrounding Holy Royal family are all experienced monsters. How could he leave? Faction mission trigger. Hold on to the village. Reward. Experience 1000. Reward. Exquisite treasure chest 1. Chapter 59. Tooth for tooth, heads hanging at the entrance to the village. Poisonous Fog Village. How could it be described as miserable? The houses are all made of broken wooden boards, and the roads are bumpy and muddy. A big hole was opened in some houses, and all kinds of debris were thrown out of the hole. It should have been dug out by the human-faced dog during the search. Moreover, the Holy Royal family knows how to drain the lake to fish, and always maintains the number of people in the Poison Mist village within a certain range. Xiao Chongchong always thought that she could hide, so she survived. But in fact, when the human-faced dog found her, he played with her for a while and then let her go. Heroes, the conditions in our village are limited, please eat some food and drink some water. The village chief and other villagers got out of the dilapidated houses one after another, and then brought a small amount of food and water. But, the yellowish water with silt and the unknown lumps of dough dried into stones really made Qin Zi unable to stop talking. I could only politely refuse, however, he did not take out his own food and water. First of all, he didn't know how long it would take for the main dungeon to end, and he didn't bring enough to eat by himself. The second point is that it may lead to an imbalance in the mentality of the villagers. If people in darkness see the light, they will not be able to survive in the darkness. Qin Zi knew that this was the real world. Unknowingly, 10 minutes have passed. The village is still quiet, and the Holy Royal family has been missing. Where are people, so inefficient? Qin Zi couldn't help complaining. He can't help himself with these skills. Container Tentacle Summoning Technique, Despair Naval Battle Cemetery, Skill Chain, Yellow Spring Shell Guidance Technique, Skill Chain. These skills are all waiting to be used. Maybe the Holy Royal family doesn't know yet, Lu Yang analyzed. There is no communication equipment here, everyone is dead, and no one informed them at all. That makes sense. It's okay for us to wait here all the time. We must find a way to notify him. Mushui. Catwoman. They now doubt whether they're playing the same game. I was afraid that the Holy Royal family would not come to attack and suppress them, so I even informed them. Dark Knight. My lord. Get me the head of a holy royal family and then shoot it to the castle. As you command, my lord. Advertisement. The Dark Ranger immediately stepped forward, pulled out the bowstring, and inserted the black energy arrow into the remaining head of Ghoul Nex, and then began to accumulate power. Liu Yang. Mushui. Catwoman. So exciting? So arrogant? Directly shoot the heads of the hunting team members into the fortress? The damage is not high, but it is extremely insulting. Just as they were stunned, the Dark Ranger released his bowstring. The black energy arrow carried the head and disappeared into the clouds. Whether we can reach the castle is still unclear. At this time, the village chief came tremblingly and began to tell the information about the poisonous fog village. Actually, the Holy Royal family's hunting team captured our villagers not just for experiments. Most of them were sold as slaves. There is a Holy Royal family city nearby, inhabited by ordinary residents. They have no regard for slaves. The demand was huge, so mainly they bought away the villagers. That city originally belonged to us Bobo people. The Holy Royal family killed us all and then lived in it openly. The village chief told what happened in the past, with hatred in his eyes. It was almost bursting with fire. Shinzi's eyes also lit up. City? How much experience is there? The village chief didn't notice Shinzi's expression, but continued to talk to himself. The noble castle of the Holy Royal family is now researching growth potions. They want to make us grow as fast as wheat and then sell them off one after another. It's a shame, it's simply a shame. If the growth potion is really developed, I would rather die than give them any chance. Cough cough cough. The village chief was so angry that he coughed violently. Liu Yang shook his head and sighed. Hey, the Holy Royal family has really achieved the ultimate in not being a human being. Catwoman. It makes me so sad to hear that. The Bobo people are so miserable. Who would choose the camp of the crazy Holy Royal family? In that case, the hunting team is responsible for capturing slaves this time. Will there be a convoy transporting slaves coming soon? Shinzi put his hand on his chin and thought. Currently, he has a camp mission, so he can't leave the village directly. Moreover, after he left, the entire village would be slaughtered, which made him feel uncomfortable. It's better to kill all the surrounding Holy Royal families first, and then take over the castle as well. Ghoul Nex, you leave your heads, just like you hung people on wooden stakes before, you hang all these heads at the end of the village. Ghoul Nex was enjoying his meal, and his claws had turned dark gold, which was a sign of his upcoming evolution. As a result, the brain is not eaten, which is the most nutritious place. Advertisement, however, it immediately carried out Shinzi's order. He carried several wooden stakes and stuck them at the head of the village, with the heads of the Holy Royal family hanging on them. Now just wait for the other party to come over. Another 10 minutes passed. Finally, the convoy carrying the cage slowly drove towards this side. The cart was pulled by an 8-legged dog. The leader of the Holy Royal family was sitting leisurely in the car when he suddenly saw the heads hanging outside the village and was stunned. This is the head of our Holy Royal family. How can it be? When he reacted, he was so frightened that he fell off the convoy. Come out, my skeleton. Let's have an appetizer first. Kill. Pentagrams intertwined with thunder appeared one after another, and after thunder skeletons emerged from them, they struck with an axe. Skull doesn't talk much. The Holy Royal family and the slave convoy were much weaker, and they were all killed by 3 strikes, 5 strikes, and 2 strikes. Congratulations, you killed a Holy Royal family and gained experience, 700. Congratulations, you killed a Holy Royal family and gained experience, 700. Open black lens bracket. Close black lens bracket. You can't kill me. I am the nephew of General Black Sun. Now General Black Sun is in the stronghold. If you dare to kill me, he will make your life worse than death. The leader fell from the car. Finally, he shouted at Ghoul Nex. Unfortunately, Nex couldn't understand what he said and just tilted his head in confusion. General Black Sun, can you eat it? Immediately, it went up and took off the leader's head. Congratulations, you killed a leader of the Holy Royal family and gained experience, 900. The experience provided by this wave of fleets directly increased by 10 percentage points. The experience provided by the Holy Royal family is somewhat different, but it is still very fragrant. There is also the so-called Black Sun General, who should be the mini-boss of this area. A bunch of bastards, kill them all, soon. The convoy was destroyed, and the head of the castle was shot directly. Finally attracted the attention of the Holy Royal family, they dispatched armies from surrounding strongholds with great anger. The poisonous fog village was soon surrounded by water. When they saw the head hanging at the entrance of the village, they felt even more ashamed. You are here. It would be nice to have more. Chapter 60. Touch of taboo, understand? Wooden stakes were erected at the entrance of the village, and the heads of the sacred royal family were hung on them. The dull eyes seemed to be telling the story of the past. As a result, the villagers in the poisonous fog village were frightened. The village chief ran over with an anxious look on his face. I can't do it. I can't do it. Why did you hang the heads of the Holy Royal family at the entrance of the village? Shinzi looked at the village chief with a smile. Why, they can just hang the villagers' bodies, but we can't hang their heads? That's not what I meant. You have also seen the viciousness and cruelty of the Holy Royal family, and they regard dignity as the most important thing. This kind of thing where their heads are hanged at the entrance of the village has never happened. The consequences are unimaginable. The village chief was very excited. The villagers stood behind with worried faces. Anyway, we are going to die, so why not humiliate the other party severely before dying? What do you think, village chief? I just like to see these guys angry and unable to kill me. Qin Zi turned around and looked outside the village, his words revealing calmness and confidence. Suddenly, a scream came from outside the village. Then countless footsteps sounded, and heads moved among the trees. They did not show up, but dispersed first, completely surrounding the entire poisonous fog village. From the appearance to the encirclement, the whole set of actions is smooth and smooth. At first glance, it looks like a professional village butcher. According to rough estimates, there may be thousands of holy royals, holding golden spears and equipped with golden armor. The equipment is very sophisticated, and the ones riding on them are no longer strange dogs with 8 legs, but the reptiles covered in thick scales were breathing out white air, looking very fierce. Moreover, there is murderous intent in their eyes, and blood is often seen at a glance. When they slowly emerged from the woods, with ferocious faces ready to kill, they suddenly saw the heads hanging at the entrance to the village. They were all stunned, and the air became extremely quiet. The village chief and villagers present did not even dare to express their anger, but their hearts were beating wildly. It's over, it's over. In this strange silence, a man rode a blood-red reptile, and the golden rhombus inlaid between his eyebrows actually spread along his forehead towards both temples. At first glance, it looked like a pair of sacred golden wings. The royal family slowly walked out of the team, looked at Qin Zi and the others proudly, and made a low voice. Outsider, it was you who hung the heads of my people at the entrance of the village. It's your grandfather and me, Qin Zi responded confidently. Lu Yang and the others, advertisement brother, please take it easy, you're afraid. The face of this holy royal family was ferocious, and the veins on his neck were popping out. You will regret everything you have done. Come on, the holy royal family cannot be insulted. The sacred royal family cannot be insulted. With deafening shouts, the holy royal family began to charge towards the village. Their target this time was not Qin Zi or the villagers, but the head hanging at the head of the village. They wanted to erase this shame first. If that's the case, then I won't let you succeed. I'm so mad at you. Qin Zi raised the magic dragon staff, and a green light lit up. Come out, my tentacles. Due to the effect of the resonance crystal, the tentacle summoning technique was promoted again. Container tentacle summoning technique, right pointing arrow, forbidden touch summoning technique. Forbidden touch summoning technique LV.5371. Summons forbidden touch at any time, at any place, in any number, and in any posture. It cannot move, it can act as a sensory whistle. It consumes 5,000 mana to summon 100 forbidden touch, can be divided into installments. The mana consumption will triple if it exceeds 100 bars, and every day that passes, the mana consumption will increase by 1,000. As the staff in Qin Zi's hand moved forward a little, in front of the wooden stake inserted into the head, the transparent air suddenly split from the middle, and a substance like black seawater seemed to be surging in it. A thick tentacle with a radius of about 1 meter came out of the gap and lay horizontally in midair. The edge of the tentacle fit perfectly into the gap in the cracked space. The surface of the forbidden touch is covered with fangs and sharp teeth, which can bite independently, and will bite tightly when it touches the enemy. What is this? The holy royal family who led the charge looked frightened and braked quickly, but their inertia carried them forward. The 10-meter-long forbidden touch that was horizontal in the air was slightly raised, knocking down 4 holy royals at once. The sharp teeth on the tentacles gnawed away at the metal armor and heavy scales, making a crunching sound that made people feel sour. Sound. Minus 6,273, the curse spreads. The curse takes effect minus 3,207, bite damage. Minus 6,321, the curse spreads. The curse takes effect minus 3,289, bite damage. Minus 6,321, the curse spreads. The curse takes effect minus 3,391, bite damage. Terrifying damage values appeared in patches, making the surrounding holy royal family change their expressions. Advertisement. The first thing they did not go to save their companions was to stay as far away as possible. A bunch of hypocritical guys. But this tentacle is really convenient to use. You can summon it one by one, just like tower defense. The most important thing is that people can jump out of thin air. This is awesome. Come out, my tentacles, come out, my tentacles. Following Qin Zi's special roll call, tentacles sprang out from the side of the wooden pile's head and formed a square shape to surround it. Let's see who can destroy it. Open black lens bracket touch of forbidden close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket unable to move close black lens bracket. Level. LV.17. Attributes. Strength 4217, Agility 0, Intelligence 0. Skill 1. Violent whipping. Forbidden touch slams towards the target, causing 6,000 plus slam damage, and at the same time causing negative control effects such as suppression, shock, and disability. Each slam attack takes 2.5 seconds and has a certain probability of failure. Skill 2. Taboo bite. There are several fangs and sharp teeth growing on the surface of forbidden touch, which can bite off armor or scales and cause permanent damage to them. The damage to magic element equipment is plus 200%, and each bite causes 3,000 plus damage. Skill 3. Curse Aura. Taking the forbidden touch as the midpoint, it curses all enemies within a 10-meter radius, losing 10 blood points per second, and at the same time enhancing perception. When attacking the cursed unit with Violent Whipping, the accuracy is plus 200%, the damage is plus 50%, and it is shocking, suppression and other negative effects plus 50%. Introduction. Where do the nutrients of eaten flesh and blood ultimately go? 20 taboo touches appeared at the entrance of the village, instantly knocking the Holy Royal family who came this time to their feet. As long as you were suppressed without the help of your companions, don't even think about getting up. Got chewed to death. Congratulations, you killed a sanctioned team of the Holy Royal family and gained experience, 3000. Congratulations, you killed a sanctioned team of the Holy Royal family and gained experience, 3000. Fierce collisions were also heard from other directions in the village. Qin Zi raised the magic dragon staff, and the cyan light lit up again. Touches of taboo appeared all around the village. The scene is extremely horrifying. Chapter 61 The Path of Extraordinary Transformation of the Holy Royal Family. What is this? Father, aren't you a summoner of the undead? When will a summoner of the undead be able to summon tentacles? Shouldn't it be the bones of the tentacles? You are stupid, meow. How can you have bones in your tentacles? Ah, no, once alive, second time ripe. At the beginning of the battle, Liu Yang and others set up the barbecue stall again. The middle-aged Uncle Sun Yunlong may have been bowed down by life, and his whole body revealed the sadness of a middle-aged man. He turned a blind eye to the Holy Royal family attacking the village outside, and concentrated on his barbecue so that Qin Zi could eat comfortably. According to his words, everyone lives by counting the days. As for the villagers in the poisonous fog village, they were already frightened to the point of being unresponsive. Xiao Chongchong was addicted to eating, and ran over. She didn't care whether the Holy Royal family outside could hold on, anyway, she had to eat to her heart's content first. However, the rows of forbidden touches surrounding the village, with their 10-meter-tall bodies, still look very safe. How do you deal with my 100 taboo touches? On the other side, the Holy Royal family had already been completely defeated by the heads hung on wooden stakes. How could the noble Holy Royal family allow such insulting things to happen? But the square defense composed of 20 forbidden touches made it impossible for them to get close. The sin is unpardonable. The Holy Royal family riding a blood-red reptile slowly walked out angrily. The golden lines on his forehead that looked like wings began to glow and became stronger and stronger. Qin Zi suddenly became interested. He seems to want to explode? It seems like my kills were not in vain. I directly forced the opponent's ultimate move to come out. Captain of the sanctioned team of the Holy Royal family. Nightmare Elite Monster. Level. LV.20. Advertisement. HP. 175,000. Attributes. Strength 2731. Speed 2061. Intelligence 2289. Skill 1. Transformation Stage 1. Through various cruel experiments, and finally combined with specially cultivated ancient diseases, the Holy Royal family can promote the transformation of tribesmen under certain conditions. Each transformation will gain powerful power. After 3 transformations, they will be promoted to more advanced and perfect life forms, not yet success. The captain of the sanctioned team is still in the first stage of transformation, with strength plus 700, agility plus 500, and sacred energy running accelerated by 50%. In extreme emotions, there is a very small probability of triggering sacred cells, temporarily gaining huge amounts of power, and dying after the state disappears. Skill 2. Energy Beam. The leader of the sanctions team can condense energy through the sacred crystal between the eyebrows and emit high-energy blazing light. The effective attack distance is within 300 meters. The damage decreases as the distance increases, and can cause continuous scorching damage of 3,000 approximately 15,000 points. After releasing it once, the sanctions team the captain will fall into a state of exhaustion and weakness. Skill 3. Holy Light Descends. The leader of the sanctions team temporarily activates the sacred cells in the body through secret methods, increasing the strength by an additional 700, the agility by an additional 500, the number of energy beam releases increased to 3/3 times, and the 3 auxiliary abilities of Holy Strike, Holy Transfer, and Holy Shield are activated. The state lasts for 10 minutes, and sacred energy cannot be used for 3 days after it is lifted. Skill 4. Sanctioning Team Flag. The sanctioned team of the Holy Royal family can share, convert, output and input sacred energy, and can achieve resonance frequency, tacit cooperation plus 200%, strength attribute increased by 20%, agility attribute increased by 20%, defense increased by 20%, and information can be quickly shared. Introduction. Where does the road to divine transformation lead? Ahem, cough, cough, the path to divine transformation, what the Holy Royal family wants is too big. If the urine properties of the Black Abyss dungeon are followed, professionals may be able to transfer to the sacred transformation path of the Holy Royal family. In this way, it is a rare and special profession, but no one can say whether there will be a good result in the end. The job transfer at level 25 is very important. The path to divine transformation may attract many professionals. In other words, Lee's company has already started researching it. Qin Zi suddenly felt a chill down his spine. The negative impact of the Black Abyss copy on reality is almost devastating. At the same time, wing-like golden lines lit up on the forehead of the captain of the sanctions team. Both the strength and agility attributes are rising steadily. There is a feeling of divine energy overflowing. His glowing golden eyes were fixed on the head stuck on the stake, and then he rushed over on the blood-red unicorn beast. The Holy Royal family, their heads are really made of iron. Perhaps, this is a point that can be exploited by creating an item that insults the Holy Royal family, which brings unlimited ridicule. Buzz. The taboo touch naturally didn't tolerate him, so he just hit him on the head with a fierce slash. The diamond-shaped crystal on the head of the Sanctions team leader also lit up with blazing light, and then released a high-energy ray as thick as a finger, hitting the Forbidden Touch. Advertisement: the mouth on the surface of Forbidden Touch opens, and then it swallows high-energy rays inside. What is very strange is that the Forbidden Touch does not have a value for reducing blood volume. Instead, the roots of the Forbidden Touch are linked deeper into the unknown space, and strings of golden characters appear. Plus 7,500, the Lord of Taboo expressed his satisfaction. Plus 7,500, the Lord of Taboo expressed his satisfaction. What's going on? Qin Zi was shocked. He originally planned to sacrifice one Taboo Touch, and then hit the second one immediately. As a result, the Forbidden Touch will directly eat the sacred energy beam? It is obvious where the blood food eaten by the big mouth of the tentacles ultimately leads. This is equivalent to a sacrifice. Oh, this is impossible. My blazing beam can even penetrate the obsidian shield. How could it be eaten? What on earth is this? Ah! The captain of the Sanctions team shouted in disbelief. His mentality finally collapsed. However, in the face of the Forbidden Touch and the terrifying fangs that opened, he was not ambiguous at all. He raised his right arm, and the sacred energy began to spread and interweave along the round shield, quickly building into a thick, wide of the divine shield. Bang! The Forbidden Touch suddenly hit the sacred shield, actually making him guard it. The sharp teeth on the Forbidden Touch began to gnaw at the sacred shield. This time it was much stronger. After the sharp teeth bit into it, they could only leave a few fang marks. If you want to completely gnaw it away, I am afraid it will take a long time. A lot of time. The captain of the Sanctions team also felt uncomfortable. His body was arched and he was pressing the sacred shield with his shoulders. The blood-red unicorn beast under the seat was even pressed to the ground. What are you still looking at? Come here and help. When the captain of the Sanctions team saw the stunned members still far away, he immediately gritted his teeth and cursed angrily. But soon, he desperately discovered that the outsider was moving faster than him. What the other party said made him feel as if he had fallen into an ice cave. The test is over, it's time to end this. Sanction team leader. Any trump cards? Chapter 62. A flat ace counts as a trump card? Forbidden Touch surrounds the village like a tower defense. The body that is 10 meters high is raised and lowered, and every time it hits the Holy Royal family, they will be knocked off their feet. The only drawback is that the attack frequency is too slow, and 2.5 seconds have passed before it falls and is lifted up again. Other tentacles need to make up for the vacancy, so that the Holy Royal family will not rush in. As long as the Holy Royal family is suppressed by the tentacles, they are basically cold. Seeing that something was wrong, some of the Holy Royal family did not dare to rush in. Instead, they took out their crossbow arrows and shot at the Forbidden Touch. Every time, they shot into the sharp mouths all over the surface of the tentacle, and then they chewed it up and swallowed it. This thing is wider than Ghoul Nexa's recipe. Congratulations, you killed a member of the Holy Royal family's judgment team and gained experience, 3,000. Congratulations, you killed a member of the Holy Royal family's judgment team and gained experience, 3,000. Congratulations, you killed a unicorn beast and gained experience, 700. As the kill prompts continued to sound, the experience points skyrocketed as if they had eaten gunpowder. The experience provided by the judgment team is really great. With 3,000 experience points, it is unique among all nightmare dungeons. Moreover, there are still many Holy Royal clans, which are all in vain. Congratulations, you have upgraded to LV.18, all attributes +1, free attributes +4, HP +400, mana +100. All free attributes are focused on intelligence. At the same time, the upper limit of attributes of all summoned objects is further unlocked. Already summoned summons remain unchanged. The battle goes as quickly as it comes. The Holy Royal family that attacked the flanks and rear of the Poison Mist village disappeared without a sound, and 80% of them were already dead. The only remaining members of the Holy Royal family that still possess certain combat capabilities are the captain of the ruling team at the entrance of the village and a number of subordinates led by him. The captain of the judgment team had a golden wing-like pattern on his forehead, and his whole arm was supporting the sacred shield. He was struggling with the Forbidden Touch that came down. He was really a little scared now, so he quickly shouted behind him. Quick! Why are you still standing there? Come here and help me. His subordinate team members were a little hesitant. After all, even the captain couldn't bear it. What could they do in the past? To die. This is an order. Anyone who disobeys the order will be sent to the castle. As soon as these words came out, the faces of the subordinate team members instantly became frightened. Compared with the Taboo Touch, they are more afraid of being sent to the castle, which is not a place for people. As a result, the sacred rhombus between their eyebrows began to glow. While passing it to the captain, he walked forward, then grabbed the spear with both hands and stabbed the Taboo Touch, pressing down on the captain. Advertisement: bang kai, juice splashes. -3,897, -3,902, -3,919. A series of damage values appeared, instantly inspiring the members of the judgment team. There's drama. The Forbidden Touch was painful, trembling and shaking, and the captain of the ruling team was freed. The team members had triumphant smiles on their faces. Forbidden Touch is not invincible, it can be killed. The next second, the captain of the ruling team directly threw down the blood-red unicorn beast under him, spread his legs, turned around and ran away without any ambiguity. Golden threads of light emerged from both sides of the feet and intertwined in the air, forming a simple wing pattern. He ran as fast as he could, even using divine energy. This made the members of the ruling team who came to rescue him look stupid. They stood there blankly, a little at a loss. Ha ha ha, I'm laughing so hard. Lu Yong raised his head and laughed. The Holy Royal Family are so hypocritical, meow. Catwoman couldn't help complaining. The name is so high-sounding, but the way he works is so despicable. His subordinates came to rescue him, but after he was successfully rescued, he left them alone and ran away. Just like some of Jalan's leaders, I really want to scratch them to death. I just want to know now, is this tentacle serious? Mu Shui also joined the group of complaints, but the focus was a bit strange. Mu Shui, something is wrong with you. No, I didn't. At this time, Qin Zi suddenly spoke, instantly attracting everyone's attention. To put it harshly, the Holy Royal Family bullies the weak and avoids the strong. Seeing that the Bobo people have no ability to resist, they bully them and even try to squeeze out the last bit of value. But when they encounter hard problems, they give up and even lose their will to fight. I can't mention it, but my self-esteem is too strong. To put it nicely, he is a master at torturing vegetables. After hearing this, everyone nodded in agreement. At this time, Mu Shui asked curiously, the captain of the sanction team has escaped the tentacle attack range, are you just going to let him escape? Mu Shui, you really like tentacles. Go, don't talk nonsense. Advertisement. Mu Shui's cold cheeks were unusually red to the base of her ears. Of course we can't let him run away. The captain of the ruling team has the most experience. But, how to do this? When everyone saw Qin Zi's unhurried look, they were immediately filled with curiosity. The captain of the judgment team ran away too fast, as if he was flying at low altitude. How to catch the opponent now that he has almost disappeared from sight? Qin Zi didn't hide it and shouted directly, Dark Ranger. My lord. The Dark Ranger with a good figure and a hood, holding a long bow, knelt down on one knee. Yellow Quan's right hand. The world changes in Qin Zi's eyes, and he can directly see and control his soul. A group of green soul floats on Huang Quan's right hand. Lost and reborn. Activate. Qin Zi picked up the soul and slapped it on the Dark Ranger's chest. Soul consumption. 1 point. Wangshen soul capacity, 44/50 thousandths. Death Raider. Trigger. Strength attribute +5, random, health, mana recovery 1000. As the soul is injected into the chest of the Dark Ranger. She raised her head suddenly, her ruby-like eyes shining brightly. Surging power surged within her body, and 5 flames ignited in front of the long bow in her hand. Soulfire. 5/5, the next time you shoot, the range is +100 kilometers, the damage is +5000, penetrates everything, and can have piercing properties. After hitting the enemy, it ignites the soul, causing 3000 soul burning damage per second. At the same time comes with negative effects such as pain, confinement, and disability. The Dark Ranger's blood-red eyes looked towards the direction in which the leader of the sanctions team was escaping, then he pointed the long bow at the sky, slowly pulled the bowstring, and a jumping soulfire was extinguished and melted into the arrow of the Dark Ranger. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. When the charged cloud-penetrating arrow reached its peak, the entire arrow suddenly ignited with green fire. This is a flame that is disgusting to all living things, directly burning the soul. The Dark Ranger loosened his bowstring, and the arrows burning with green fire disappeared into the sky instantly. After a few seconds, terrifying damage values appeared. -80,000, soul ignition, crippling blow -5,000, -5,000, -5,000. Chapter 63 Next, Evolve. In the distant jungle, the wailing sound of the captain of the sanctions team could be heard. -5,000, -5,000, -5,000. The blood volume deducted by soul burning made him miserable. I can only roll back and forth on the ground, hoping that the pain will subside. Unfortunately, this is damage to the soul and cannot be physically shielded. The screams here shocked the team members for a whole year. Lu Yong claimed to be used to it, but when he saw this scene, he still couldn't help but open his mouth. Wukow, this is awesome, isn't it? What kind of skill was that just now? It instantly strengthened the Dark Ranger and killed the captain of the judgment team a few kilometers away. Oh my god, wasn't I dreaming? Mu Shui looked at Qin Zi with a complicated face. One arrow does 80,000 points of damage, and it also has burning and continuous blood deductions. This can no longer be described as perverted. Meow, brother Qin Zi, are you interested in joining our Jalan organization? It's okay to give it a name, please be cool. Catwoman's eyes shone brightly, and she started to act coquettishly towards Qin Zi. Your Jalan organization is a hidden black market. When this copy is over, you can help me see if there are any skills for the summoner of the undead. Qin Zi had already wanted to ask. Skills are the top priority for him, much more important than equipment, props, etc. Of course, meow. Can it be divided into installments? Installments? Catwoman scratched her head in confusion, then nodded firmly. Able. Nex, come on. Qin Zi snapped his fingers. The ghoul Nex, who was holding a thigh in his mouth in the distance, raised his head blankly, then looked angrily at the corpse, which was left with only a pile of debris, and came to Qin Zi's side with a cry. It looked like he was complaining. All the corpses were eaten. Who is it? The taboo touch was dangling next to it, and the sharp mouth on it swallowed the last bite, pretending that nothing was wrong. Go and drag the captain of the sanctions team over. Don't steal anything on the way. I'll ask him something. I can give it to you to eat after it's over. As soon as Qinzi said this, Nex became excited instantly. The four claws clawed at the ground crazily and ran towards the captain of the sanctions team. Advertisement Liu Yang and others' mouths twitched. If you let Ghoul Nex find someone else, can he come back intact? As expected. A few minutes later, the screams of the leader of the sanctions team could be heard from the woods in the distance. The team members shook their heads one after another. How could Ghoul Nex be able to hold back? If Rubaozi beats a dog, can Rubaozi come back? However, Qinzi trusts Nex very much. Time passes minute by minute. Nex bit the thigh of the captain of the sanctions team, emerged from the woods, and placed him in front of Qinzi, his expectant eyes seeming to ask for credit. The captain of the sanctions team was still moaning in pain, but his fingers and toes were all chewed up. Miserable and miserable. After Qinzi walked over, he immediately trembled with fright. I'll ask you a few questions. As long as you can answer them, I can consider letting you go. Really, really? I must tell you everything. The captain of the sanctions team's eyes lit up and he said quickly. You are currently in the first stage of transformation. The strongest holy royal family in this region. What stage of transformation are you in? General Black Sun, he has completed the second stage of transformation, both body and soul. He is now seeking the third stage of transformation, which is the characteristics of a higher life state. That. You can rest assured, the third stage of transformation currently, only 20 members of the holy royal family can achieve it, and only our king can achieve the cocoon after the third stage of transformation. Have you completed the second stage of transformation? Qinzi frowned slightly. To be honest, the path of extraordinary transformation of the holy royal family is quite strong, and it is also a good choice for career change at level 25, but unfortunately it does not fit with his professional characteristics. Moreover, this thing was created by the holy royal family through disease research. It is hard to say what is at the end of the road of transformation. When the time comes that you have gone all the way to the end and become a monster, who can you talk to for reason? General Black Sun, is he the strongest in this area? Qinzi continued to ask. He must know the upper limit of the enemy's power, otherwise a perverted monster will suddenly appear and kill him easily. General Black Sun is indeed the strongest. He also has 12 strong generals under his command, all of whom are in the second stage of transformation. One of the generals even gave me pointers to help me successfully enter the first stage of transformation. Captain of the sanction team, as he talked, he felt a little proud. And what happened to the castle? Qinzi asked doubtfully with the attitude of asking if he didn't understand. According to the intelligence previously obtained, the castle is a more terrifying existence than General Black Sun. How can it be weaker than General Black Sun? That is the Duke's castle. It can communicate directly with the royal family. It specializes in the research of ancient diseases and promotes the development of the path of divine transformation. General Black Sun once stayed in the castle for 10 years, using his own body to explore the path of divine transformation. Road, and finally successfully entered the third stage of transformation. It can be said that the Duke's castle created General Black Sun. Advertisement. The captain of the sanctions team became more and more proud and raised his head. Such a feat can only be accomplished by their holy royal family. That's it, I understand. Qinzi nodded, having a certain understanding of the division of strength in this area. Then, he waved to Ghoul Nex. Leave it to you, ouch. Nex suddenly crawled over excitedly and looked at the face of the captain of the sanctions team that was twisted with fear. You don't mean what you say. I told you to go, but I didn't tell you where to go. How can it not count? Congratulations, you successfully killed a sanctions team leader and gained experience, 4,500. Props obtained. Holy Shield, Platinum level, Ghoul Nex, swallows the head of the leader of the sanctions team, gaining evolution plus 25, strength attribute plus 25, and holy energy plus 100. Open black lens bracket. Your Ghoul Nex begins to evolve. Close black lens bracket. Nex suddenly stopped eating, then stood up and looked at his dark golden claws in shock. Immediately afterwards, its sharp claws bloomed like flowers, forming a terrifying harvest disc. And as its thought moved, its sharp claws suddenly retracted. Harvest disc. The blooming claws can shock and cut the enemy's body, and can pierce the defensive armor twice the attack level. At the same time, it causes 6,000 points of tearing damage to the enemy, and will 100% trigger bleeding, maiming and other effects. Nex finally evolved, and the attack is as high as 6,000, which is pretty good. Congratulations, you have completed the camp mission. Stick to the village and gain plus 500 camp points. Get favorability from Poison Fog Village plus 300. Experience gained, 150,000. Reward, Exquisite Treasure Chest, Faction Mission, Trigger, Task Direction Selection. 1. Continue to hold on to the Poisonous Fog Village. 2. Destroy the stronghold of the Holy Royal Family. 3. Capture the invaded city and liberate the slave Bobo people. Extremely dangerous. Close black lens bracket. Note. All tasks are task chains, and each selection will lead to changes in subsequent tasks.